We're
an
being
IPA on
recorded.
here for you, Jesse.
Oh, thank you.
And for the Dungeon Daddy, it's just the tip. It's a spruce tip IPA.
Wording.
I was looking at your menu. I don't think it accounts for inflation. Where could you go and get baked garlic bread for $4.50?
I mean, the risotto's pretty pricey.
That's true.
I feel like a lot of this is the cocktails are pretty accurate to market price right now.
That's true.
Garlic bread is like $5 a pop now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna start a garlic bread business. It's just bread and butter and garlic.
That's expensive in this economy, you know?
That's fair. That's expensive. Oh man. All right. I'm as ready as I'll ever be for us to go. I know you're editing some stuff, Clayton, so
we're fine. We're live and Corbin's recording, so we can start whenever. I'm just finishing up some stuff. So.
Perfect. Does anybody care to give us a quick recap? I would ask Keith. No, I'm just kidding. He wasn't here. Yeah, but no, any of you, if you guys want to give a quick recap, that's great. No worries. If not, I can just kind of pick us up where we were at last time and go from there. Kind of up to you guys.
Do you want me to read my bullets?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So the group emerges from the house, and these are very, very fast notes, by the way. We attempt to rejoin, and in that attempt, Dawn finds some wanted posters for Yana in the tavern. Somehow 3 months have passed from Halloween into Christmas. And Cal goes off looking for Dusk and investigates a shop with the sound and finds like a little green hat. It looks like a child. I mean,
one of those children.
One of those children. And then the party finally gets reunited. Yana cannot tell Dusk and Dawn apart, even though their hair is completely different. Dusk gets tripped by a small humanoid, and Nelisian immediately pursues. And then we get into a encounter with goblins and Santa, while Zog guards the door. And we also find out that those goblins and Santa are robbing the shop. The shopkeep is tied under the counter, but I think Nelisian is the only one that knows that, or is it Yana?
Correct.
Okay, Nelisian
is the only one.
Okay, Nelisian's the only one that knows that. And Cal is a wizard, but he's not casting any spells. is my last note. Yes.
Yeah, Alex was grappled with Santa all last game.
No spells.
How?
You're welcome. Never let him know what you're gonna do next.
Didn't we end where all of us were like, oh, we want to interrogate this guy, we want to steal from this guy, so we like capped it before we could do all that?
Yeah, so we ended it before we could discuss what each of us wanted to do.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, there was at least one goblin still left alive. I don't remember. I know it was the one that was knocked out. Was there another one that was? Because somebody was like ready to kill all of them.
They are all still alive, aside from the one that I decapitated.
Which I think is this guy back here.
One's defeated and knocked out. That's the one.
One's missing his 3 fingers because I Eldritch blasted him while he was holding his crossbow.
Okay.
Elysian definitely said he was gonna kill all of them but one.
Okay.
Even though they're surrendered.
They're goblins.
They tried to kill us.
Oh, okay.
Keith.
Hold on, are we gonna do this in character? I'm ready.
Oh shit.
Should we go get Zog?
Zog is standing there at the door, just like eyes wide, mouth agape.
Clayton, bring us in, please.
Oh, okay. Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerdy 20, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast brought to you by the Nerdosphere. Remember, if you like what we do, scroll on down and leave us a rating. This episode is number 4. Take it away, Jesse.
All right, welcome back, adventurers. I am excited to see what you guys do from this point. So Just another quick rundown of kind of where everyone is at. It looks like there's one dead goblin, one goblin kind of late to the party, a couple others still hanging out. One is knocked out. Santa is dead. There is a tied up shopkeep under the bar that not many people know, or under the counter that not many people know about. And that is where the adventurers will get to take it away for this session. So what do you guys want to do?
Is that everybody
wants to-
okay? Does anybody need to be healed or anything?
Dusk wants to immediately start.
Looting bodies.
I would love to be healed.
Okay. I'm
If
here,
you'd be
Mr.
so
Burns.
kind, I would take one as well.
And I'm going to cast, I say, get close to me, please. And I'm going to cast Twilight Sanctuary. And anybody that is in the sphere can heal by 1d6.
I have a question about when we leveled up, did we not just like regain all of our hit points since we leveled, or no?
So that is totally fine. We can leave it in there that you guys RP'd for it, but we can also give you guys are all at your max health again because you guys did level up.
The way it works in D&D, you gain the hit points that you gain when you level, but you're still
There it is.
missing what you got
Gotcha.
damaged by.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's
I-
because of my sphere. I am
Okay,
not around.
Okay, I need healing. I just thought that it was okay, but I apparently am not. So I go over. I stopped rummaging through pockets for a sec.
Yeah, Dawn casts like this very like it's almost like it's called a like Twilight Sanctuary, and it's this like really big 30-foot sphere, kind of dark space, but it's kind of like enchantingly dark, and whoever steps into it heals by 1d6.
Okay.
Oh, Dawn, whenever you make these, they're so pretty.
I've been getting so much better at them too.
You have been. This one's like perfect.
I know. Remember
Yeah.
when it only used to be like 5 feet?
I know, it's so good. I'm so
Yana's
proud of you.
kind of stretching out where the arrow had punctured him before, but is now healed. He's gonna look down. Our Sprins are still with us, right, Dungeon Daddy?
Correct. Yes, they are still with you. You guys are still the only ones that can see your own sprint, but yes, they are with you.
Okay. As Yana's stretching, oh god, it really hurt. What? He's gonna look down. Where were you during all of that? Are you able to help during battle at all?
The sprint kind of looks up at you and gives you like a full body shiver. You don't really quite know how to interpret that, but you do still get the feeling that they are attempting to talk to you. You just haven't quite figured out what they're saying yet.
Okay. Yana's
So it
gonna,
acknowledged what you're saying, but not quite sure what's going on yet.
okay. Yana's gonna kneel down, kind of like on all fours, so he's like eye to eye with the Sprin, and be like, "Listen, buddy. If there is one thing I really need you to understand is that no matter what, we protect our friends. Because without them, we are all alone." And then he's going to hop to his feet and go, "So if you've got special abilities that can help me in the future, I would really appreciate it. Thank you."
Yana,
Still,
who are you talking to?
He lost his mind.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking to my friend. You know, like
Where are
the...
your friends? Which one of us?
No, like, yeah, you are all my friends now too. But no, we signed the contract, and this little thing appeared in front of me.
What's the
Oh,
Oh.
just like mine.
And I want to take my spear off my shoulder that nobody can see.
I'm going to look down at my Sprin.
And I'm going to pick it up. I'm like, is this what this is? You guys can't. I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna furrow his brow. Zog and Elysian did this to me outside the tavern earlier. Why are you all making fun of me? And he picks up his Sprin, like a couple of books again. And it was like, show me yours.
I'm not making fun of you. I can't see it, and I don't know if you can see mine. Mine's really cute. It looks like a rabbit, but it has horns.
Mine looks like a little bird.
Oh, that's nice. Mine's a pudgy piece of brown with a bunch of chains on it. I think it's making fun of how many times I've been shackled since I've been in this godforsaken land.
Oh no.
Oh, that's so cute. You're all so creative. I love it.
Do you have one too, Cal?
Why, yes, I actually, I've adopted Witt's old Sprin. This poor girl was in such tears to see her owner die.
Oh, so you got like a hand-me-down.
She is still fresh as ever, I assure you. She's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, no. I didn't mean to offend her. And she's just gonna look around and be like, sorry, little one.
Yeah, I was gonna have a moment where he's gonna snap to, like, he remembered what he was doing at the end of last episode. And he's gonna find the decapitated goblin head and he's gonna pick it up. I'm gonna jingle it in front of the one missing his fingers and say, "You listen here, you little ankle biter. What the hell were you all doing in this shop?"
Okay. So you are holding the head of the one that died back here. Where is, and this is you, correct? So are you waving it in front of this guy here on the counter?
Isn't this the one that fired at us?
That is.
Yeah.
I need your AC.
My AC is 13.
Okay, hold on a second. Give me a second. I realize I do not have my dice in front of me, which I'll have to grab. They are sitting back there on the shelf behind me. Okay. He takes a stab at you and he misses. As you say that, he is very angry that you are holding his dead friend's head in his hand. And this one over here, why this is happening, sees what you're saying, and he looks at you and is like, "You're some sort of hypocrite talking about saving your friends. That's my friend, you jackass."
Yeah.
And I run over and attempt to grapple that goblin.
You can. Yeah. So the ones that are still, I think, alive, if I remember correctly, this guy is still alive. This guy is still alive. This guy's knocked out. And this guy is missing fingers. So yes, yeah, you can run over. What one are you attempting to grapple, Zog? Are you attempting to grapple this one that just tried to stab?
It's a little far away.
Yana.
Zog, did you
I mean, if we're not in an initiative, yeah, I'll go over there.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, there wasn't an initiative needed. It just triggered a reaction to the goblin seeing his dead friend's head hung out in front of him. But yeah, you can grapple him. So he is grappled now. So this is the one that made the comment down here. He is climbing up on the table to try to talk to you guys at the time. This guy is kind of still in shell shock as to what's going on. And then Santa's dead on the other side of the table here.
I'm gonna pull out my rope and my 2 sets of manacles. I'll toss the manacles to the goblins to the south and be like, "Hey, put these on." And then I'll start tying up the one that I'm grappling.
Okay. So this guy is still too engaged in wanting to have a word with somebody. He sees the manacles get thrown in front of him, the one on top of the table down to the south. This guy, his friend, standing off the table on the ground to the same direction, he starts slapping on the manacles. He's just ready to get out of here. So he's put them on and he's like kind of walking towards you guys with his hands up. This guy isn't blatantly ignoring the manacles. He is just looks like he's ready to have a conversation type thing. He looks angry.
You had something to say.
Not to you.
Look, if you don't want to get hurt, you better put those on. We don't want to have any more bloodshed, but we won't hold back.
He kind of looks at the group and is like, "The first one to speak some sense." And he slaps one on his wrist and he goes, "I'm not going to put the other one on yet until you explain why you killed my friends."
Well, why don't you put the other one on and I will feed you a little piece of bread and we can talk this out over that little piece of bread and maybe we get a drink later if you behave, okay? Okay.
Well, I'm just going to ask because we did try to talk to you guys and nobody seemed very responsive and gave us a good answer on why we shouldn't attack you. And then we found out that you guys were just robbing this place. So that's why we attacked. And you guys attacked us first, to be honest. So like, I don't think we're entirely in the wrong. And she's going to walk over to the passed out goblin and just start looting him. while she's saying this.
All
Now,
right.
did you see our friends that were hacking at your Santa's ankles? Did you see the one that blasted the fingers off your friend? See, we don't want to have to do that to you, but we will.
So he's looking at you guys as all of this is happening, and he is putting the second half of the manacle on, and he's kind of mumbling to himself. And kind of what you guys are picking up is, yeah, we just made it easier for you to rob, but you're doing the same thing that we were doing. So who's really in the right now? And he's like putting on his manacles, essentially accusing you guys of a false narrative almost, where at the end of the day, you're doing the exact same thing they were doing, but at least they weren't trying to cover it up.
Oh, don't be a black kettle calling us pots.
When you talk, the one that Zog is grappling attempts to try to stab you again. He's just so irritated with you as a person that he's like actively, I'm picturing, and correct me if I'm wrong, I know you've tied him up. I'm picturing his arms being like tied up to his side so they can't move much. So he's getting like a little bit of like wrist movement, but can't actually make any contact with you. So you're looting. So right now we have Zog grappling a goblin. We have the healing spell that happened. This is all kind of happening in a pretty quick succession. Yana is mouthing off. We have Cal that is accepting the healing. What is Nelisian doing through all of this?
He'll go around and free the shopkeeper.
Okay.
Already?
Well, I was gonna kill everybody, but nobody else is killing, so I will.
I need
free the
Nelisian to
shopkeeper.
get on the same level as these tieflings.
To be fair,
We need to
if-
rob the shit out of this place.
I will hold you to that is something you said that you wanted to kill everyone. If Nelisian would still attempt to do so, it is within reason that you would want to walk up. I mean, you have three incapacitated now goblins, either in manacles or tied up. They are easy prey. So it is up to you. If your character would not be vengeful enough to go after them, that's totally fine. But if you want to play that out, I want to give you the opportunity to role play that out with your companions.
No.
I mean, Nelly, he already has tried stabbing our friend twice. And I've already tried talking to them. I know this isn't the one that was like, being very cooperative, but I think if anything, it sends a message. So if you want to kill one, at least.
You'll
Hold
right,
up
and I'll
now.
slice the one in Zog's hands. And
Wait,
I'll just
whoa.
kill it.
Oh my.
Whoa.
That is
Okay.
what I'm talking about.
Yana throws the head at the dead body. Ha!
Okay.
You guys, that's not good.
Al comes
Maybe-
over and slams his staff on the ground and says, "What are you all doing? These were naughty boys.
How many still
Are we
alive?
not being naughtier boys ourselves by slicing these folk?"
They didn't kill
Good done.
anybody. Cal's right.
Zog,
They've
they
been
were
defeated.
going to. I have an arrow in my back. And
Look,
they
and
were.
I tried reasoning with them, and this one was clearly not listening. He's delusional.
While they're arguing, I'll go around and grab the shopkeeper and pull him out.
Once Dusk sees the shopkeeper get pulled out, she's like, she has whatever she found in her hands, and she starts putting it back on the shelves like she wasn't doing anything. Like she's like, "Oh, let me help you clean up. I didn't know you were down there." Just starts putting stuff back on the shelves.
Okay, hold on. Let me go grab my dice here real quick. And while I'm doing that, I need you to roll me a deception check.
Okay.
I hate to see him go, but I'd love to watch him walk away.
Daddy.
Yes, no idea. Those plump Burgess cheeks.
Seriously,
waddling away.
Nelisian. I already tied that one up. Would you kill him?
Sorry
If-
about that.
If your answer is that he's a goblin, you think you're going to say that all goblin kind are not as good as humans?
Well, they are typically evil.
And all
Their
dwarves are
sole
related.
purpose as a species is to torment others.
Well, I don't think all goblin kind are. And I'm like, because wait, I have to remember, out of character, aren't bugbears goblin? Okay,
Oh.
I'm going to interject and just be like, well, not all goblin types, right, Nelisili? Like looking over to Zog.
No, I guess not.
Now, I thought this was a very healthy heart-to-heart moment. Now we can all hug our dead goblin buddies and move along, yeah?
Donna will drop the head as it thuds to the ground and walk over for a group hug.
I'll join him.
I rolled a 12, by the way.
Okay, so you rolled a 12. Okay, perfect. Give me a second here. Let me roll against that real quick.
As you're doing that, I want to be shepherding everybody into the group hug as this is happening.
So the shopkeep, as he's getting untied, kind of looks at you groggily, not quite understanding the circumstance of what's going on in his shop. And he's like, what are you putting back? He's like, where did it even come from? What happened? And you can tell he believed you, partially due to the level of confusion that is going on in his brain right now. Having just woken up, he is a little bit shell-shocked from seeing a dead Santa Claus next to him, and he is just attempting to understand what is going on with his surroundings. And then I also need all of you guys to roll a perception check for me, please.
15.
18.
16.
That is a natural 20.
Wow.
Ooh,
Dirty 20.
nerdy 20.
Perfect. Okay, so let me ask you this, I guess, because I remember most of them. Did anybody roll below a 14?
Yo.
Okay. So you're the only one that doesn't get or doesn't see, and it makes sense because your back is turned anyways. This guy with the manacles on is sprinting for the now unguarded door.
Nilisian will chase after.
Okay.
Zog.
Okay, so what is your movement speed?
40. And I guess I would be behind the counter at this point, so.
Perfect. Just a second.
Nice little action pose where you leap from the counter.
Okay. So you are, let me think. Let me pull out my little ruler here. Okay, and this is where jumped off here.
And I mean, like 8 of his steps would be like 2 Nilisians.
So funny enough, their movement speed is actually 30. So perfect distance. You are, and yours is 40. So you would actually meet at that intersection because he ran off and this is exactly 30 feet for him. So he kind of took off. For those of you that are not watching and listening, and said the goblin on the table that was ready to talk took off from the table. He made it about 30 feet towards the door before Nilisian intercepted him. So you would hit him right about there. So if that's where your character wants to be, that is where you will have to be, is on top of the goblin.
Yeah. I'll do.
Okay. Why that is happening, this additional goblin is now also sprinting towards the door, seeing the commotion happening.
An attack of opportunity.
That was, technically speaking, I think Dawn would be the only one that does. Unless, remind me if I'm wrong, because don't they have to be right next to each other, or is it something that you have?
They have to leave your attack range. You have to leave your melee attack range.
Okay.
My melee
Then
attack
yes.
range is 15 feet.
If you would like to attack, then yes, you would get an attack of opportunity against him as he's running.
Okay. So 22.
Oh, that definitely hits. I was just about to look up the stats and I was like, I know it wasn't above like a 13 or something like that I had written down. Okay, so yeah, you do hit him. What are you trying to do? Are you attempting to deal damage, or you want to do something specific? Just incapacitate? What are you thinking?
If I could whip him around the ankle to stop his movement, that would be great.
Cool. I will go ahead and allow that because was kind of slow to the start anyways. So you, with the roll you had, kind of turn around to look at the commotion that's happening with Nalisian and the goblin that ran. This other goblin right next to you, you prematurely see him getting to run, heading towards the door, and you do clip him around the ankles and trip him. So that is totally fine there. So now he is prone, the goblin standing by Dawn and Zog. So you are attempting to put stuff back on the shelves. Yes, Dusk, is that correct?
Yes, and I'm going to talk to the shopkeep. Look, like your store was getting robbed and we came in and we just took care of everything for you. We take tips.
The shopkeep kind of stands there for a second and is like, let me get my bearings, please, and then I will see what I can find for you. And he kind of like starts shuffling around some papers, and he kind of looks over and he's like mumbling a little bit inaudibly to himself, kind of about how in disarray his shop is. And that is when you guys kind of take in the shop for the first time. And you guys are standing in kind of like the equivalent of a general adventurer's store. So they're not like a specialty item shop. It's kind of like where you could go for like low level adventuring trinkets, potions, to that extent. So he is attempting to kind of put stuff back together, and that's when you kind of notice everything kind of sprawled out. You get the sense that he wouldn't really know if you put everything back currently. With the current state of the building and everything is disheveled, you don't believe that he would have any idea of what is exactly accounted for and what isn't at the moment.
Excuse me, Mr. DM, are you encouraging me to steal?
I am letting you decide and setting the scenario for you, so it is up to you.
Yes.
Al's going to walk over and put his hand on Dawn and say, how about out of the goodness of our hearts, we do this one for free, shall we? We are not such naughty people.
Why are you saying this to me, Cal?
Oh,
Al also doesn't know the difference between Dusk and Dawn.
And Dusk successfully steals everything she wants to steal.
no. I gave advice to the wrong person.
Dawn takes all the heat.
Dang it.
Cal, are you okay? Are you disoriented?
This is working out fantastically.
I am going to, because of that, and it was so great, I'm going to give you the opportunity to pocket something before he says that to you, Dusk. So if there is something you want, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand, please.
Oh, shit. That wasn't a good roll. Let me
See if he has any manacles.
8.
I think I'm about to lose mine.
Okay, so hold on. Will you roll me a perception check there, Cal?
Yes.
I hope the dice I got you roll shitty.
Oh, it does.
Yes.
5.
Okay. The shopkeep and Cal do not see that you have pocketed anything. If anybody else was watching for it, I also need a perception check from you. It just made sense to check those two. If any of you were watching this interaction and feel inclined to attempt to stop said interaction, now would be your time to roll a perception check for me.
Wait, so did I accidentally go over to Dusk?
You did accidentally
Dawn,
go.
you
You went
mean-
over to
Locked
Dawn.
in.
You still can't get it right.
Come on, you knew this would happen.
I want to grab Cal by the shoulders very gently and go,
Okay, let's go sit down for a little bit. I think that Santa maybe hits your head or something.
and she wants to go take him like to sit in the nearest chair on one of the tables.
Is the goblin by Nalisian dead yet?
Oh, yeah. So what are you attempting to do with the now grappled goblin that you chased out, or caught running out the door, Nalisian? What are you attempting to do?
We still have the one unconscious, right?
You do, yeah. So the one on the counter next to Dusk is still unconscious. This one is now got tripped by Zog's whip. And then this one is still kind of just doing whatever because he's still crying about his lost fingers.
But the one I have is the one that was wanting to talk.
Yes, he was the one that was originally up on the table, and then he just saw an opportunity to run for the door.
And then there's another one that's prone.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to pick this one up and carry him much like I did the very first one. And as I walk back to the group, I'm gonna stab and kill the one that's prone.
Wait a minute. I have him. What are you doing?
You tripped him prone,
Oh my
right? Or
gosh.
do you have him?
He's manacled. I whipped him, and if I had a chance to do something next, I was going to tie him to the one I already
Okay,
have
then
tied
never mind.
up.
That's why I
So-
just asked if he was. That's why I just asked
No,
if he was prone.
That's totally
like, I was like, I don't know. We got to kind of take turns. Like, I know it's like I
Yeah.
think things like that should be kind of done in an initiative, but
I've
no.
been
No, that's-
patiently waiting.
Yeah, that is totally fine. So the way that I will have this happen is I'm going to allow the scenario to happen to some extent. So why all of this is going on? You are attempting, you've tripped him, you're tying him up. He's still in the process of getting tied up. I think that would change Nelisian's outcome of what he is doing, but you are in the process of tying the second one up to the one that's already in front of you here.
Yeah, I wouldn't intervene if he was
Cool.
in the process of tying him up.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I'm trying my best to juggle everyone. My plan was to have gotten to what I was actually in the process of getting ready to ask Zog what he was going to do with the prone one, and then intervened. So no worries. And okay, so right now, just to recap, we have Santa that's dead. We have now 2 dead goblins. We have a goblin with no missing fingers. We have a knocked out one on the counter, and now we have 2 tied up together in the one that you're carrying, if I remember correctly. I think that's this current state of the goblins at the moment. This guy's still groggily, like laying here. Nothing crazy is going on. Where do you want to take this guy then, now that you're not walking off to kill the prone dude?
Just still back to the group.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So you guys are kind of now in a group. None of them are aggressively moving. Dusk, you did pocket. I apologize. Did you say what you attempted to pocket? Is that a conversation you and I need to have on the side? I can give you like a list of what you would have found on said goblin, and I will let you pick something. But I can kind of message you that on the side. Because you're not gonna, I mean, they're all level 1s. You're not gonna find anything too crazy. But what do you guys do now? Do you guys want to engage with the shopkeep more? Are we interrogating the goblins? What are you guys thinking?
So I'll tie up any of the goblins we have captive, and I'll suggest. Well, hold on, let me get my Zog voice. When you guys are done talking to them, I'm gonna try to take them to the authorities. I can't be part of any crimes.
Oh,
Oh,
you're already
should-
part of a really big one right now.
Yeah. Should we hide the body of the dead one?
We can burn them.
This is not good. So part of my deal with House Tanlon is that if I as long as I'm looking for Kalishtar and not causing any trouble, I can be in their cities.
Did you cause trouble before?
No.
Then
Oh, so
why?
like this is like a slap on the wrist kind of thing. So you can probably just say, oh, like
There's a goblin's head right over there.
So,
That'll be really easy to
well,
hide,
it was all an
Zog. It's not very
accident,
big.
you know?
you
You're a really big
single-handedly
guy. You have a
saved
big
this shop
stick and,
and the
like-
shopkeep.
Yes, is there not any clause of self-defense here? We were
We were
trying to
attacked
fight rude,
first.
naughty goblins.
I don't
And
know.
they were doing the crime first. We haven't
I've
even
never had to
done
like talk my way out of trouble with House Tanlon. So I don't know how they're going to take this, but I mean, you guys do what you're going to do. I'm going to take these to the authorities.
If anybody gives you trouble, Zigzag, you just you send them to me, okay?
And then we can just murder everybody again.
Well, that's not what I'm saying, but I'll do what I have to do.
We always protect our friends no matter
Hey, wait a
what.
minute. Wait a minute. Are you guys adventurers?
Dusk, what would you call us?
I would call us like travelers, adventurers. Yeah, sure. We're just bopping around.
We like to bob.
Well,
Zog, are you mad at us though? Because it kind of seems like you're mad at us, and I don't want that.
well, I just don't want to be sent back into the wastes again. But the whole reason the bugbears left the Feywild was because adventurers would keep coming in and killing them there.
But we would never do that.
Well, we would never do that to you.
Okay.
Cal, tell them. You've spent time with us, kind of. Like, we wouldn't kill like innocent people, really.
Yes, of course. These are some goofy purple girls. They all they know is eating several chicken wings and goofing about.
Oh, that sounds really good right now.
Speaking of which, we should go find food as soon as we can. Let's just get this interrogation over with. I'm really hungry.
Yeah, here. Talk to this one. I'll kind of slap the one I have in front of me.
So as he's like standing there tied up, you slap him in the back of the head or whatnot. His eyes bug out and he's like, "What do you want? I'm already tied up. Where do you think I'm going to go?"
Answer their questions.
Why? Why should I? What's in it for me?
I want to create water over the bunch of them and just have 10 gallons of water splash onto them.
Waterboarding now. Great.
You better fucking talk.
It like the goblin stands there and is like, "How can I talk if you're trying to drown me, you moron?"
Oh my
You
God,
watch your tone when you
overreacting.
speak to them.
What are you gonna do? Stab me like you did my friend?
Yeah, unsheath
Well,
the
what do you
sword
think
once
about-
again. You listen here, you little ankle biter.
How many alive
my
do we
blade
still have?
against. I'm gonna put the tip of my blade against
4.
his throat. It would take so little effort of me to push this through your throat and ending what little breath you have left to give. So how about you choose wisely the next words you say instead of insults? Answer their questions. Why are you here?
So not only are you going to waterboard me, but you're going to then stab me while I'm tied up? What type of level of coward are you?
Jesse, I think it'll keep escalating unless you let them roll like an intimidation or persuasion check or something.
Yeah.
Yana is shaking right now. In his head, he's thinking, "What are you waiting for? Just do it! Why are we wasting so much time? Doesn't feel right. Elysian, will you kill them?"
Okay.
Wait. Okay, I don't want Zog to get in trouble, though. I really don't.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
I want to
don't
like
either, but I don't
I want to
think
like oh.
killing goblins who were robbing this man will get him into trouble.
But
Jesse, would I know what the crime for robbing would be in the city? Or know what the punishment for robbing would be?
You would. Let me go through
Is
my
it
notes.
less than execution?
It is less than execution. It would not result in putting somebody to death. Maybe at most, depending on what type of evidence you could slap on him, would be a loss of a hand. But you're definitely not getting execution for robbing a store. And you would know that because you've worked alongside the Tanlon government enough to know what their outlier cities and or towns allow for acceptable punishments for this type of stuff. So I can give you more details as we need it, but you do know that it is not execution for robbing a store.
I have a weird question.
Yes.
When I was in the tavern and saw George's face everywhere, was there any chance that I saw goblins or anything on that wall too?
I'm not going to let you know that because you didn't ask at the time. So
I just didn't think I would need to ask about it.
so you don't recall. Well,
but if I saw goblins on like a list, I don't know. I feel like maybe it might stand out, but I can respect whatever you think.
So give me. This is going to be kind of weird because it's such a short history check, but give me a history check to determine what I think you remember from that.
Okay, it's like an 8.
So no, you do not.
Poor dog. Oh no.
You do not reconcile, or you do not remember if there were any wanted posters for goblins. I will give you the fact that you do remember that was kind of the equivalent of a wall of shame.
Okay.
So if that is any piece of information that you would want to relay to the group, that is up to you. You do remember that, but you don't recall who was on said wall. You just don't
Yana's
recall
face
that.
was too beautiful. She was distracted by all the pictures of him.
Exactly. Zog, I need to know. So you're wanting to take them to the I'm drawing a blank. You're wanting to essentially take them to the equivalent of the town sheriff, to the authorities. Are you wanting to try to take all four? Or are you just wanting at the moment to take the two that are tied up in front of you?
Are there 4?
I could have sworn that there were. Yeah, there are. I'm sorry. 2 of them are
Oh, okay.
stacked. Yes, there are 4. Again, to
Did you remove
recoup
the
this,
dead ones already?
I did.
Okay.
Guy directly here in front of you, Zog, is the one that's missing the fingers. This guy's close enough to directly in front of you as well that he is the one that you tripped. The one here on the counter is the one that was knocked out from virtually the beginning of the encounter. And this one, for lack of a better term, is being grappled by the scruff of the neck by Nelisian still. So we still do have 4 of them.
So
Yeah.
this take to the authorities thing, what does that mean? Like, how does that work? Have you done this before?
Well, before the people I thought were Kalishtar, I bring them to my handler and he pays me. But these guys aren't Kalishtar.
They're like a
Well,
town.
for protecting Zog from the authorities, but what about the dead red and white grandpa on the floor? Do we
I don't know.
dispose of it?
We hide the body.
Oh, goodness.
There's so much snow. It'd be so easy until spring.
I would just get out of here, and I'll have to tell them what happened.
I mean, as far as I understand it, it was like, oh yeah, this happened, self-defense.
Yeah. Well,
Zog, why do you have to tell them everything? Because also the version you're trying to tell is not accurate.
What?
You are going to tell them a story that makes it seem like this incident was bad. This was a good thing that happened.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm all for trying to help the shopkeeper, but I mean, you cut that guy's head off.
He shot me
And
in the back.
And you shot a guy that already surrendered.
He shot me. Wait. Yeah, I fired against the guy who shot me in the back. The other guy tried to stab me, but thankfully I dodged it.
Perhaps we should maybe talk to the shopkeep first.
I was just
the beginning of the story if we're gonna actually tell a story.
I was just going to suggest that.
Perfect. So this is the opportunity for Zog. If you would leave with the 2 that you have to go talk to the authorities, it would now be a time that you could do so. Anybody else that want to stay and talk to the shopkeep is also fine. I just kind of need to, this is kind of like a nice little breaking point to decide who's going what direction, and then we will handle those conversations accordingly.
I want to stay with the shopkeep.
Okay.
I'll do the same.
Okay.
Yes, I'd like to talk with the shopkeep.
Perfect.
I will stay with the tieflings.
Okay. Yana?
Don't think I'd be very much use to Zog if I went along with him.
I don't want Zog to go by himself. That's not a good idea.
Okay, maybe I can go as Zog. It's just I'll
Just
go
wait,
back together
Zog.
with you, and I don't want
We'll
to
all
leave
go
you.
together after we
squishy
figure out
idea.
what's going on.
Let's go
figure out
together.
what's
If
going on,
anyone's
and then
gonna
we'll
go with them, I
together.
think one of the tieflings and one of Elysian. I think it's a good balance. It has pep, it has logic, and it has adorable oaf. And he pinches Zog's cheeks.
I like Nelisi's idea where we just all go together. So
Oh,
Zog, we can just talk to the shopkeep together, get the story straight, and then we can all go to the authorities with you.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys are all talking to the shopkeep. I'm going to message you real quick on the side, Michelle. This is roughly what you had gathered from the dead goblin in front of you, and I will let you pick which one you had attempted to pocket. Let me find you on Discord here. I'll message you privately. That is what you have seen so far at quick glance. Okay, so you guys are all attempting to talk to the shopkeep. The shopkeep has now kind of shrugged off his grogginess and is kind of attempting to straighten up his counter here. And you can just tell he's trying to restore a little bit of order. So what do you guys want to know?
I'm gonna go over to the shopkeep. Where is he right now?
I'm finding a token for him, but he's right here. He's kind of like midway in the counter at the moment. So
Okay, I'm gonna go over to him.
Hi, how are you feeling? Are you feeling a little more better in your head?
As good as I can feel after having been knocked out by that thing. And he kind of looks down at Santa. He's like, I can't believe I thought that was Santa at the first view. I can't believe I even let him into my shop.
He's just come in and hit you, like, or tie you up.
I thought he was getting into the holiday spirit and going to drop off some of that food from the festival going on out. Well, not the festival, but the merrymaking going on outside. And instead, he walked behind the counter and whacked me over the back of the head with that staff. And he kind of points to the staff that's laying on the ground there. And he's like, and then I woke up and you guys were attempting to put my store back in order.
Oh, you poor thing. Is your head okay?
It could be better, but I'll be fine.
Okay. Do you have a doctor in this town that you can go see?
Yeah, I will go see someone after I kind of straighten up in here. It looks like they made a little bit of a mess.
Oh, well, my sister can help you put away more of your things, and you can kind of tell me what happened and tell us what exactly was going on before we came in here and saved your life.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that'd be great. It looks like they've made quite a bit of a mess down over here. If you guys wouldn't mind kind of helping organize those shelves over there. On the shelves on the western wall of the shop is kind of where he is pointing. But I am happy to answer any questions that I can. It was kind of an uneventful night for me. I was minding my own business, preparing for the holidays, the busy season. In walks what I thought was somebody dressed as Santa and his little helpers. Next thing I know, I'm tied up under the counter. I don't know why they picked me. I'm not a very exciting shop, I don't think. But that's about the last I remember.
You don't have anything exciting or secret that they would maybe want?
He kind of looks around and he's like, well, I mean, I did get a couple of shipments I haven't opened. I haven't really looked through the manifest of those. I haven't gotten to that. They're in the back room. But I mean, most of the things that come through my shop are everyday adventuring tools, lanterns, low-level healing. I have a couple of potions, but it doesn't strike me as something that somebody would come and specifically rob me for.
Val, Nelisity, Yana, Zog, what do you guys think?
They could have killed you, right?
That's a good point. I worked this shop by myself and they left me tied up instead.
That's weird. I thought goblins were always evil.
Well, they certainly drew their weapons on us pretty quickly, Zog.
They didn't kill anybody.
They were trying to.
I'm with Zog on this one. I find Yana has a faulty moral compass, if I do say.
If I meant bugbears, Zog, I would have said bugbears.
Okay, maybe you and I can just talk, Mr. Shopkeep. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man. Okay. So the shopkeep is kind of like looking around in puzzlement where one person was talking to him and then she asked one question and then like an eruption of voices happened all at once. And he's like, yes, I mean, I would like to prefer to talk to one of you compared to the lot of you. But I don't know what else I can provide. I can give you my list of like my manifest if anything is intriguing in there to you, but and he kind of like rifles through a couple of pieces of paper and puts them up on the counter. You can go through them if you'd like. I can kind of explain what you're looking at there. While all of this is going on, Dusk did run off to the shelves. I assume you're attempting to pickpocket some things off the shelves while also putting some things back on the shelves. It is my guess. But I want you to explain kind of what you're doing right now.
Question. Whenever Cal went to go talk to Dawn and got us confused, did I hear him at all? Or would I have heard him giving her that talk?
Yeah, you guys are all close enough without a lot of commotion going on that I will say that you would have heard.
I'm gonna throw a little will save, or a little see if I steal or not. I'm not stealing. I am putting things away. Actually,
you are putting things away. Okay, perfect. Nalisian, what are you doing at this current moment? You're still holding a goblin by the scruff of your neck. Are you wanting to interrogate him? Are you wanting to talk to the shopkeep? What are you thinking?
I'll probably just continue to listen and observe.
Okay. Cal, you have not said much to this point other than agreeing with Zog that Yana does in fact have a warped moral compass. So what are you doing?
Yes, we all did see Yana rip apart the contract and watched Witt fall into a gross puddle. Aside from that,
no one
I've
stopped
decided,
me, Cal.
And we all
that is a
hated
good
that
point.
man.
And I wish I could have. You made the Spring cry. If only you'd seen her cry, you'd cry as well.
I'm getting the idea.
I'm going to right our wrong, and I'm going to help clean.
Okay, so you're gonna go help clean. Perfect. So then the shopkeep is still engaged in whatever conversation is happening. Dawn, are you attempting to rifle through the ledgers there in front of you, or are you just taking him at his word that he doesn't know of anything that would have justified stealing?
I'll take a look at the papers, and as I'm doing so, I just want to say, well, our big friend over here, he actually has some friends in some pretty high places, I think. So we're actually going to take these guys to the authorities, and we're going to give them the full story of how we saved your life. And of course, we don't expect you to give us anything, but we would understand if you wanted to, because that would be the right thing to do. But of course, we know you just went through a traumatic event, so we won't hold it against you if you don't pay us anything.
Hey, do you have any manacles?
He wants
the level of emotion that changed on the shopkeeper's face as you were talking was like he was grateful for your help, and then as you essentially attempted to blackmail him to for lack of a better term, he kind of like looks at you in puzzlement and is like, well, I mean, if all you want is a set of manacles, I probably have those somewhere. And he like dips under his counter and he pulls them up and he holds them to Zog and is like, here, this is
2 more.
2 more.
Oh my gosh, is he giving us 3 manacles? That's so nice.
Oh, I meant.
Oh my god, you didn't
sorry.
have to.
That's so sweet. As she's like yelling, putting things away.
I thought those were for her. I want 2 sets.
2 for you. Oh yeah. And he just grabs like 2 more. He like walks away for just a second. There's a couple of shelves that I forgot to add behind the counter. He kind of turns around the shelf over here and he rummages through a couple of things and he pulls out the first manacle that he attempted to hand to Dawn. Looks like a pretty nice set. The ones that he pulls off the counter look like they've seen a little bit of wear and tear, but you kind of get an idea that they've been used, so you don't have a reason to doubt them. They just don't look as pristine as that first pair that he gave you. So you do now, between you guys, you have 3 new sets of manacles. He is totally fine handing them to the 2 to Zog and then giving the other one to Dawn.
I said 4 gold under the counter.
Okay, perfect. He kind of like bows his head and he's like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And he slides 2 of the gold back to you and is like, consider it a discount, buy one, get one. You guys helped me immensely tonight.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Oh, you should not feel so obligated. That is so sweet. Okay.
And I do want to take a look at his like records and see if I see anything that stands out in a weird way.
Okay. So while you are doing that, give me a second to kind of type up some things that you would have seen on the ledger. And we'll move to kind of what everyone else is doing. We have Cal helping clean up. We have Dusk helping clean up. This goblin here starts to kind of shake his head a little bit. You can tell he is waking up on the counter. And this one that you are holding, Nelisian, is he's starting to wiggle a little bit in discomfort.
I will toss a set of manacles to Nelisian before manacling the one that was knocked out.
Cool.
And then
I
I'm
think
going to
this
start
one has
tying.
manacles.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, this
Okay.
guy had manacles here. He was trying to run out the door
Alright.
with them on.
So I end of the day, I want all 4 of them manacled and tied up in like a daisy chain.
Okay, so then you have an unused set of manacles still. 2 of them were still. Hold on. Oh, no, I guess you wouldn't. You have an unused one if Dawn is holding hers. So right now, this one was in manacles. This one was in manacles. This one that you had tied up, and this one here would need them. So you have one unused set of manacles that Dawn is holding right now. So, okay. So that is kind of where that is at. The shopkeep looks at you and is like, I can kind of piecemealed a little bit of what you guys were concerned about with the body. At least for this body in particular, let's just assume that I can handle it on my end. You guys do not need to touch it. I will handle Santa, report this to the authorities because I will have to report all of this for insurance purposes anyways. But allow me to handle this one. If you would like to turn the others into the authorities, by all means.
Oh, that is so good. Isn't that great, Zog?
That's pretty good.
So while all of this is going on, why Dusk is making her way this direction and Cal is attempting to help clean up as well, I need both of you guys to roll me a perception check, please.
Both of you guys?
I'm sorry, Cal and Dusk.
19.
6.
Funny enough, it was a very low bar for what you needed to see this, and Cal somehow still missed out. Dusk, you notice a wrap.
The shade.
I had to. He needed an 8. I had set it at 10. I was like, I'll make it a 10. I was like, this is pretty easy to spot. I'm going to make it an 8.
You T-balled it for me.
Yeah. And then ended up with a 6. Dusk, you are the first to notice a wrapped chest over here with a bow on it. Cal, you do notice it shortly after, but Dusk is the first one to see it.
She's going to run over to it. And she's going to open it.
Okay. Hold on. Give me just a second here. So you open it up in haste and don't realize that you have triggered a trap. And the back right corner of the chest catches on fire.
Oh, shit. You guys, I'm so sorry. I need help. Dawn, I need you to come. Do your little water thing. Dawn.
I'll go. I see the fire and I go, oh shit. And like I hold up my finger and pause to the shopkeep and I want to run over and dump 10 gallons of water on it.
Okay. So you get the 10 gallons of water dumped on it, extinguishing the fire. In that time frame of you running over to do so, the fire had started to burn not only the back right corner of the chest, the flames had started to come in. So you do, in fact, see that the flame did touch a couple of the garments that are in the chest. You just don't know to what extent they were damaged. But there was a little bit of damage done to some of the items in the chest, very minuscule. But the chest is now open. There are 10 items in it, and I can give you the name of the items that you have found in there, and then it would be up to you guys to decide what you want to do with them. So inside, you see a matching replica of Santa's belt that he is wearing. You see a pair of elf shoes. You see a Christmas tree topper for like a staff. It kind of looks like one of those, almost for lack of a better term, a light bulb that you'd screw into something. It's like something that you can attach to the top of a staff in the shape of a Christmas tree. You see the equivalent of something that looks like a mistletoe. You see a gingerbread house, a set of reindeer antlers. You see I guess a short sword. No, we'll go with a long sword here that has some frost on one of the edges of the blade. You see a matching set of armor pieces. One of them is a chest piece. One of them is leggings. The other one is a set of jingle bells. And then the last one is a tiny miniature snowman in the like a wooden figure.
What the fuck is this?
Can I carry this chest over to the group?
You can drag it. You can't carry, but yes, you can drag it towards the group.
Okay, I drag this chest to the group.
Perfect.
And I'm going to just say, Mr. Shopkeep, is this chest yours? Can we have it? What is this?
He kind of wanders around, peers into the chest, and is like, I had not logged a lot of that away in inventory yet. As you are seeing what is in the chest, you're starting to see some of this show up on like the manifest or the ledgers that you were going through there, Dawn. So you don't recognize all items. He reaches in and takes the long sword out and puts it on the table. And he's like, unfortunately, this I did log into inventory. I could let the others slide. Everything else is yours. Consider it my reward for helping me out. And he kind of like takes the sword and gently lays it down onto the table.
But wait, now I want the sword. What is it?
And he goes, well, this is a sword that I conveniently enough, I guess this, until I saw it, I'd kind of had this rattled from my memory. I thought actually maybe the gentleman walking in, and he kind of points at the Santa corpse. He's like, I thought maybe this is what he was looking for. He goes, it's a sword that the extent that I know about it is it causes some sort of frost damage when you use it to strike your enemies. He goes, I didn't get a chance to test it out, but I do know that it has frost properties to it. The person or merchant that sold this to me originally told me that it goes by the name of Frostbite, but that's the kind of the extent. It was something that came in today, so that's about as much as I know.
If I could in detail identify exactly what this sword is, in the great efforts that it's taken for us to help protect your shop today, are you sure you can't part with it?
I am positive that the price that I paid for this is not something I'm willing to part with.
How much did you pay for it?
Oh, let me. And he goes, do you mind? And he reaches at Dawn and is like, give me the ledgers, please.
Okay. Yeah,
While they're doing that, Cal looks into the chest at the little snowman and he grabs it and says, oh my, little Daisy used to make these snow folk back in the day.
Cal
and then he looks over the shopkeep. I would like to take this, please.
The shopkeep is like, again, this is yours to do what you will. While you have that, you hear your Sprin, Sylphrena, whispering in your ear, and she's just saying, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it.
He says, oh, I will. And then he hugs it.
Perfect.
Up to his face.
And as for that, as he's like rifling through the ledgers that you had handed him, he's handing them back to you as he's like rifling through them, realizing he doesn't need much of these. And he stops with one and he looks at it and he goes, Frostbite sword. He's like, paid for yesterday. And he kind of looks at it and he's like, it's like, this is the most expensive item actually that I've purchased. He's like, it looks like it cost me about 250 gold.
Dusk is kicking herself.
Listen here, shopkeep. Are you telling me that the entirety of your shop, and arguably, debatably, your life, is worth more than parting with this sword to pay thank you to those of us who've helped you. And can I roll a persuasion on this motherfucker?
Can I assist? I want to assist Yana and just be like, it's just, we're actually all traveling together and, fighting evil. And this would really help us, Save other shopkeepers like yourself.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check on this, both of you.
I'll give Yana advantage.
Okay.
250 is kind of low for a magic sword. Like we can probably put our gold together and buy it.
Or we can try to get it for free.
So I rolled a 15 and then I rolled a 17 for persuasion. So.
Okay. So you said a 15 and then a 17?
Yeah.
Ooh,
So 17.
Okay. Yeah, so 17. He kind of weighs it for a moment. And he goes, I can give you a discount. You're asking an awful lot for this. I would have turned around. And he goes, keep in mind, I paid 250 for this. I was going to list this at over $2,000 or 2,000 gold. This was a purchase I made from a good friend of mine. I can give you a discount. You'd be looking at roughly, I'll give you a 50% discount. You are quickly talking your way into me not giving you what is in that chest, if you think that I'm going to give this to you for free.
Oh,
Yana is going
So he wants 1,000 for it?
Mm-hmm.
That markup is insane. Where is Dusk in the board?
Next to the
Right
chest.
here?
Yeah, right here.
Over. I'm just going to, under my breath, say, I think we let this go for now, but maybe we come back and try to get it later.
Ooh, okay. I like that idea. I like it.
Okay. All right. Twist our arm. We, you're too rich for our blood. You're welcome, for saving your shop and for saving your life. You very well could have left, this would have been stolen if we had not intervened. So you get to keep it and you get to sell it in the shop that now can run at full capacity thanks to us. But we will not push any farther. We are appreciative for what you are willing to give.
That is the most backhanded appreciation I've ever heard, but go about your business.
I also did an amazing job cleaning the back corner. If you see.
No,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you
you really cleaned out the shop.
yes, and we are deeply grateful. We really are. I know that sometimes our words can be a little bit confusing, and really we mean nothing but good. But I'll tell you what, like we might be headed to the tavern later, and we'll buy you a drink if you head over there. And maybe some of us will put on the performance and treat you to a little show and a little drink, and you can actually like take your mind off of this very stressful day and hang out with us.
Yes, Dawn is a very, very, very talented musician. Also, Yana.
I am. Thank you.
Cal was watching from the side and starts sniffling. What a turn of character for Yana. You've really turned it around. What kind words?
Before we go, I would like to buy some rope, please.
Perfect.
Rope cost is one gold per 50 feet.
Okay. How much do you want to purchase?
I would like to purchase 200 feet.
200 feet. Okay, perfect. So that'd be 4 gold, please.
And do you sell healing potions, by the way?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
You sell healing potions?
Yes. Yeah, he does. He sells low-level healing potions.
And how strong are those and how much are they?
Hold on, give me just a second. Sorry.
Usually 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah, I knew there was a dice roll applied to it. I could not remember what. So it's you'll know this, Keith. Is the technical potion of healing, is that the lowest that the player's handbook has? Yeah. Okay. So it is listed in the player's handbook as a 50 gold purchase. He goes up to a greater healing potion that would cost you about 200 gold. But the lesser healing potions, but he is he slides 2 gold back to Dawn when she pays for the rope. You can assume he's giving you a 50% discount right now for having helped him out, because he gave 50% back to Zog. He gave 50% back to Dusk at this point. So then it would cost you for a healing potion. You're looking at it roughly about 25 gold right now.
I'll buy one.
Okay. So you have one. And then Keith, that was, you said 1d4 plus 6, right?
Oh, no, 2d4 plus 2.
2d4. I'm sorry. That's what, yes. 2d4 plus, you said 6?
2 plus 2. It's,
2. I'm sorry.
No, for each level of healing potion, it like the bonus is the same as the number of d4s you roll.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah. So 2d4 plus 2 is what it'll do for you. So that's just whenever you use it, that's what you'd be looking at. Sorry about that. Yeah. So that is kind of where you're at. And again, to kind of reiterate, what you would expect to see in a general shop is roughly what is kind of there. So it's like traditional, like lanterns, ropes. I'm not going to be that guy that requires you to have ration. Like, I'm not going to watch your rations. I'm going to require you guys to keep up on buying rations, but I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm subtracting, just buy them in a chunk and we'll assume they get you to the next purchase. So you guys do have to have them. I'm not going to be a stickler on it. But you can kind of buy like general adventuring goods here. It's kind of what you're looking at. It's kind of like a general shop.
Mr. Shopkeep, what's your name, by the way?
He was like, oh, it's Arthur. Thank you for asking.
It's nice to meet you, Arthur.
We're very happy that you're okay and that we met you. Do you sell any lantern oil by any chance?
He looks around and he's like, yeah, it's over here somewhere. He's like, it's down on the southern, on the shelves down here. He's pointing to the southern shelves. But yes, he does sell lantern oil as well.
Nelisian wants some of that too.
Some lantern oil.
I'll take some of that.
Perfect.
I love how this is just turning into a shopping day.
Right. I mean, it's all good.
Two murdered bodies on the floor. We're just shopping.
Right. So for that, this is what I'm going to do. Go ahead and write me a list of items you want to get that you would assume are in a general store. And send it to me on Discord individually if there's anything you want, and I can calculate the totals for you instead of going through them one at a time. Just assume, unless you're looking for magical items, which you're not seeing much of other than the sword there, that's kind of what you're looking for. It's just kind of general goods. So yeah, and it doesn't need to be immediate. If you guys realize that there's something you wanted to purchase while we were in this store that we didn't get to, just feel free to message me whenever, and I can calculate a cost for you and we can make it work. Yes,
Mr. Arthur. So if we come back, would you still give us like a little discount?
And he reaches below the counter and he kind of pulls out like a tiny little stack of the equivalent of like business cards, and they're discount codes. So he hands you a stack of 5 of them, and he says that these are good for one-time purchases of 50% off said purchase. And he goes, some exclusions may apply, but it's a general idea that you feel like he would give you a discount to some extent as long as you have those that you're given to him.
How many of those did he hand me?
You have 5.
5.
What's the name of the shop?
That is a good question. Let me.
Arthur's General Goods.
I mean, we could go with that, but no. I have a list. I had a list. I found it somewhere. I have it on a tab somewhere. So
Arthur's Adventuring Emporium.
Ooh.
Let's go with that because I'm sure it's better than what I have. Because it's just like generic fantasy names. So yes. Arthur's Adventuring Emporium is the name of the shop. And hold on. I am working on, I had the items listed here with their descriptions attached to them. So I'm going to give you a list of the items that you found in the chest as well. You'll just have to give me a second. And this would be a nice spot for, because I know we're kind of wrapping this up. There's a lot of like little maintenance that I have to do with individual conversations that are going on currently. So give me a second to type all that up. Let's take like a quick 5-minute break for me to kind of get caught up on some bookkeeping I need to do real quick. And then Molly, side note is, when are you thinking you need to leave by? Because I know it's coming up, right?
Yeah, ideally like in the next 30 minutes.
Okay, cool. We'll come back from the break. We'll kind of transition out of this scenario that you guys are in, and we can find a healthy spot for you to be able to step away then.
Cool.
Cool. So quick 5-minute break and we'll come back to it. I just want to reiterate, keep an eye out on Discord. I'm attempting to message people as quickly as possible when questions are asked. Some of you I have not messaged. It's not like you're missing anything, but just remember to do a quick maintenance check on Discord occasionally, because that's where I'm going to attempt to message you guys when I can. So, but anyways, come back in 5 minutes and I'll see you shortly.
Cool.
Okay. I got to pee. He's got to pee.
Do it.
What are you going to do?
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it for the precious.
Can Cal have that voice?
Maybe that'd be better.
The magenta princesses.
Protected princesses. The precious purple princess.
It wouldn't make you a creepy old man at all.
Yeah, no, that's I'm trying to find any avenue I can to abstain from the creepy line.
Right.
It's tough. It's really tough.
So I'm sitting here and I had muted myself and turned off my camera, and then you guys talking in Schmiegel's voice. I had a friend via my brother that talked like Schmiegel so well. So there was a contest that he entered into at the time, and you had to like submit an application video to get selected by Peter Jackson and New Line Cinema to come and see the first showing of the last Hobbit movie at Hobbiton in New Zealand. And his voice was so spot on that he won. He was one of 10 people that won the contest because of his Schmiegel voice.
Dang.
Yeah. So him and my brother actually ended up seeing the premiere of the third Hobbit movie sitting next to Peter Jackson in Hobbiton.
Oh,
Just because they could do the Schmiegel voice.
Yeah, so you had to have like an application video of why you should be picked. And the guy's name, his name is Steve. He did his entire application as Schmiegel.
Nice.
So again, it's not for sure that that's won it for him, but I have a feeling I've heard him talk as Schmiegel, and it's as good as any other Schmiegel interpretation I've ever heard.
Sit next to Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
yeah,
pretty cool.
that's cool.
Has anyone played a wizard before?
I have
No.
not.
I have.
Do you know how the arcane traditions works? Can't find much information on it.
It's basically like your subclass.
Yeah.
They
but
each have different features.
yeah, I can't find the subclasses.
If you
Do you
if you
know?
really want to do the frontline wizard, I would go Blade Singer.
Is that what I want though? Is that what's needed?
It's actually wonderful. I have I'm playing a Blade Singer in one of my other games right now.
Oh, nice. That does sound fun.
Keith, is there a class that you haven't played yet?
I think Barbarian is the one I've played the least.
Mm-hmm.
I maybe did like 2 sessions as a Barbarian.
What class have you enjoyed the most?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I find myself playing a lot of sorcerers.
Mhm.
I find that like the meta magic makes it like, I don't know, it's just so much fun to be like, oh, I'm gonna do the spell plus, and it's a little better than when anyone else casts it.
That's like
Nice.
the ability to like twin spells and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
One I use the most is empowered spell. You could just pick any or like a number of your dice and re-roll it. Like it's like, oh, fireball. Oh, I rolled some ones on that. Let's see.
You're
if
like,
we
I don't
can-
want that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like the D&D master.
Yes, this is my bread and butter.
That's awesome.
Dungeon uncle.
Dungeon
Granddaddy.
granddaddy.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Granddaddy.
Oh God.
Dungeon Papa.
Dungeon puppy.
I'm really excited for these reindeer antlers.
Also, I feel like I'm talking so much during this campaign. So if I'm ever
No.
talking too much, tell me to shut the heck up.
You're doing it right now.
God, I can't wait to get back to Denver and just insult you all the time, Alex.
You could do it right now.
No, I'm saving it for in person. It's gonna
Alex, I have a
really
question.
feel good.
Alex, I have a question.
When you hang out with like me one-on-one, when you hang out with Molly one-on-one, are we nicer to you? And then when we get put together, is it just pure chaos and we just gang
Yeah.
up on you? Is that what happens?
It's a disaster. Dawn and Dusk are so tough because it is the culmination of that disaster times 5.
Oh my god. I'm more good, I think, though, than Dusk is. Like just a little bit, but
I could
my limit
see
is
that.
slightly more good.
She's still 18. She's still learning. Okay,
That's
Oh.
she's
true.
not bad.
Gotta give
Yeah,
him
you-
time, Cal. You know, to learn shit.
Let them cook.
Speaking of good and other alignments, sorry if I'm like moral high roading
No.
too much.
No, it's good.
You
think
should
we-
be, Zog.
I think we need that, honestly. I was like getting scared when this battle was going on. I'm like, oh no. I was like, are most of us just bloodthirsty?
No, Cal is
The
good.
term is murder hobos.
Yes, murder hobos. Yes.
No, honestly, my favorite part of this session so far was when I was talking to the merchant and I was like, oh, what do you guys think? And you just all flung passive aggressive insults at each other. That was so funny. It was so organic too. I was just like, whoa, that was awesome.
This group is unhinged.
It's like an odd dynamic. It's cool though. I like it.
I still want to have a discussion with everybody, just discussing everything that went down. Like we were in a house, we were supposed to be looking for missing children. There's so many like loose ends.
There
yeah.
are.
Well, we found them.
And Michelle missed
Wait,
him melting into a puddle.
We found missing children.
They were ghosts.
They were
Yeah, they were
ghosts. Oh,
Yeah, that was the thing I was kind of mad at Witt/Hoyd about. Because
There definitely
Yeah.
is an in-game conversation we need to have, because when I was going back through editing the last episode, I didn't catch it in game, but Michelle, you numerous times said that our recollection of what happened to Witt is not what you saw, and
Nope.
we were, and I think we were taking it as like you just didn't see the rest of it, but you were trying to communicate that your version of events is different than our version of events.
yeah. I was trying to, but I don't think it was clicking.
yeah, this is technically like the same day for us. So if we ever get to a spot where we can long rest, we can talk about that.
Yes,
Well, that's
we
why
should.
I was maybe trying to get us to the tavern so we can actually sleep for once and regain like all of our
Everything.
spell
We're never gonna
slots.
sleep in this campaign. It's just one encounter after
But-
that.
It's like no sleep,
That's
fight,
right,
Oh my
another
God.
fight,
feel like-
another fight.
Easter campaign next time.
I feel like I could
in my
organically
Wednesday game, we
heal.
tried to initiate a long rest like a month and a half ago, and then like there's just like so much like we spent like a whole session like planning on what to do, and then like we had all these like dream sequence stuff, and like our rest got interrupted by ghosts and stuff, and
Mhm.
like we just finished our long rest yesterday after after like a lot of like 5 sessions of not being able to rest.
Oh my god.
Dang.
Ridiculous.
Thank you. Yana needs his beauty sleep, please, and thank you.
All right, is everyone back and good to go?
Yes.
Perfect. All right.
As good as we can because Molly's ditching us.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Also, just a side note, it's literally because I promised I would hang out with like family tonight, and they're playing Here to Slay in the other room right now.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. You know what Noah bought me for one of my Christmas presents? He got me the Here to Slay vinyl figure, like a blind box. And I'm just like, this is so funny. He's like, I saw it at Barnes and Nobles. And he was like, hey, I know the person who designed that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is awesome. Cool. Okay, so we are back at it. You guys have kind of wrapped up your shopping spree amongst the dead bodies. What do you guys want to do now?
I want to take the reindeer antlers.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, oh, this is so cute. And I'm going to try to put it on my sprin. and then it'll have devil antlers.
Okay. Let me give me just a second. Okay. Yeah. Man, this is a weird interaction. I was not anticipating this.
I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. So it's just not in a good way. It's forcing me to establish what I want the friends to be able to do at this moment. So as you're leaning down with the antlers, they are attached to a headband. So you're trying to fit the headband over your sprin's head. You kind of shape it in a way where it like fits around the head. And when you let go of it for it to kind of like snap into place, it just goes like through your sprin's like spectral being and falls to the ground. So it leaned in to accept the antlers, but it's not able to actually wear them currently.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're still cute though.
Wait, isn't it a jackalope? I thought they had antlers.
Yeah, I want it to have more antlers.
More antlers.
And then I'm just going to put it on instead.
Cal, are any of these magical?
Well, that's a good question, actually. I take my snowman over to the rest of the chest. Wait, is it all still in the chest?
Yeah. So
just...
the antlers, you guys haven't determined who has what item. Everything is in the chest still, except for the antlers that Dusk just attempted to put on her sprin, and then the snowman that you're holding. Everything else is still in there.
Cool. Then I'm going to use detect magic.
Okay. Will you read me real quick the description of detect magic for me, please?
For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic. If any spell can penetrate most barriers, but it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, okay. Yada yada.
So you do sense magic coming from it. Every item in the chest is giving out a faint aura of magic. You notice the frostbite sword on the counter also giving out a faint magical sense of property to it. And then you also pick up other random items throughout the store that are exhibiting slight magical properties, but that's about all you sense at this point. But you do believe that everything within the chest has some sort of magical properties to it.
I believe each of these items has some Christmas magic to it. Or holiday magic.
Oh, Cal, that's cute.
Yeah, and that's including the little snowman figurine that you're holding as well. So that's kind of what you've gleaned from there. The shopkeep is finishing up his last little things, tidying up around the store. And that is all that you guys see at the moment. Dawn, I am going to message you what you would have seen on the ledgers. You're going to notice it was quite a few things that you would have assumed were going to be on there anyways, but I will message what you see on the 5 ledgers that you are still holding there. They are in the tavern group chat. Nothing too crazy, but just in case you guys need it for any reason, that is what you saw there. And then I'm going to message you on the side for just a second, Nelisian. But what do you guys want to do now? So you guys have the goblins subdued. There is Santa's dead body, which the shopkeep has said he is going to handle. You guys have handled all of your general shopping. What would you guys like to do now?
Yana's gonna pick up the holly and ivy and cast
Okay.
cast identify on them.
Cast identify on them. Okay, give me just a second here. Do you care to read me what identify says, please?
Totally. I choose one object that I touch, and throughout the casting of my spell, if it's a magical item or some other magic imbued object, I will learn the properties, how to use it, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. And I learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, I learn which spell created it.
Dang.
He basically gets to know what the item is.
Cool. That's what I thought. I realized as much as I think I know about some spells, I realized that it doesn't do me much good to know if the audience doesn't know. So I think I'm going to try to make this something that happens normally, is if you guys can give me a brief description or at least explain what your character is doing and why they're doing it. I think it would help immerse the audience just a little bit more.
Perfect.
And you said that was for what item
The holly and ivy.
Okay. So you have so these were 2 items, even though I bundled them together in the description I gave you. Assume one of them is holly and one of them is ivy. It is a magical set of armor that grants the wearer resistance to fire damage, and a slight resistance to fire damage. And it also gives you the opportunity to cast the spell. Give me just a second. I want to make sure that this is the spell I intended on putting on here. So give me just a second. I'll look it up. So yes, this allows you to channel the spell plant growth once every 48 hours is what this allows you to do.
What's its armor like? How much does it add to my armor class, if any?
That is a good question. Give me just a second. I had forgot to write that down. Sorry. Sorry, I'm just trying to. It is, sorry, I'm trying to find it listed here.
You're okay.
Let me get back to you on that one. I just want to make sure. There are a couple that I've realized as I was getting these names sent over to you that some of the items didn't space out properly, and I'm having a hard time distinguishing what is what, but I'll get that to you by the end of the session.
It's okay. And I'm more than happy after our long rest to do this for a few more people, but I'll use my last spell slot that I have to touch Dusk's antlers.
Okay. So with Dusk's antlers, it says it is a magical headband that grants the wearer a +2 bonus to strength checks made when pulling or pushing heavy objects. And you may cast the spell jump once every 3 days using those as well. And Keith, at some point, this is just kind of a side note for you. At some point, I want to pick your brain a little bit about balancing items, because I feel like I'm starting to grasp it, but I think I'm still mixing a couple of things up. So I just kind of want to because it's been hard for me. I don't want to take just generic D&D items while I'll do some of those. I don't want to do it for everyone. And I'm just having a hard time balancing when certain spells and stuff like that are attached to it, because I've noticed a lot of magical items typically grant something with the addition of you can do this with it once per day or once every and I'm having a hard time conceptualizing what that looks like.
Yeah, it's definitely a fine line and it takes practice.
Yeah. So so that's a little kind of side note for you guys. I feel like I'm balancing these well based upon some of the advice I'm getting from some of the D&D subreddits I'm on and stuff like that. But there's a chance that I will have to correct some of these along the way as I'm balancing them a little bit. But assume for the most part what I'm saying is accurate, and I will adjust accordingly. So, but yeah, that's what you're looking at right now. Is the antlers, like I said. They allow the user +2 when pushing or pulling heavy objects, and the ability to cast the jump spell once every 3 days.
Does Yana tell her this?
Yana does tell her all of these things.
Oh wow, that's super cool. Probably not very helpful.
Well, to me, but if anybody else wants them, they're super cute.
Should we can always just divvy it up later.
Or once we find out like what everything does, maybe we should go and turn the goblins in.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm down for whatever the group wants to do as the morally correct thing.
I agree.
To address the goblins real quick.
They all okay. What are you saying to them?
I'm gonna kind of yank on the rope. Say, listen up. We're turning you in, and that's probably the best you could hope for. I think all these guys are ready to just kill you.
He goes,
Doc, if you would like, I can take them in so that you don't have any dirt on your hands or anything like that. I can just talk really pretty to the guards and let them know what happened, and you won't have any affiliation.
I mean, you can come. I think it would be better. Yeah, I mean, I already know some of the people in House Tanlon, so I think it would be better if I was there.
So as that conversation is happening and they hear Dawn offer to take them in, they all huddle around Zog and they're like, please just turn us in. Don't give us over to the twins, please. So they're in agreement with you.
Nice to you at first. I was really nice to you at first. It's just when you started acting naughty, that's gonna get consequences. That's not my fault. That is just the way the world works.
Yeah, think twice before you like start tripping random people.
Go over to Dawn, and I'm just gonna be like, Dawn, but you encouraged Elysian to kill them all.
That was when he misbehaved. I was just trying to send a message.
Oh, okay.
The logic tracks.
Our word means nothing if we don't stand by it.
That is true.
Too true. All right, so we're going to take these ankle biters to the authorities.
And then I want to turn to Arthur. You are coming to the tavern with us tonight, okay? You're going to enjoy some music, you're going to have a drink, and you're going to relax, okay?
Are you trying to convince him of this, or are you inviting him?
I think she's trying to.
It's definitely an invite, but with some coercion underlying.
Okay, so give me a persuasion check, please.
Ooh, I'm good at persuasion, actually.
That was a 22.
All right. He looks up at you and is like, okay, well, can I meet you there in Tin when I lock up my shop? I definitely need to check the deadbolts after tonight, but I will meet you over at the tavern.
Oh, take your time. We'll probably be there all night.
Perfect. All right. So you guys are leaving the tavern. For the sake of taking up space on the board, we're going to assume that the goblins are attached to your character, Keith. So when we get out of the tavern here, all of your guys' characters are just exiting the shop down here. The authorities are off over here on the western side of the town, kind of making its way up and around this corner here. So you believe it would take you a little bit off the map here, but it's just slightly off the map to the west. The tavern, again, is in the same spot it's always been, and it is there. So I just need to know who is going what direction.
Does the tavern have
Beds and stuff?
Yeah, it's an inn. Yeah, it's a tavern and
okay.
inn.
Molly, I was just looking at your message, and maybe you can just be like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, I'm actually feeling pretty sleepy, and since these guys clearly don't want my help with taking them to the authorities, I'm talking to you.
And she looks at the like little goblins.
I'm gonna go there, but first, Yana, you better be smart in there, okay?
Don't worry. I appreciate the heads up. I have a plan. And what Yana does is he pulls up his veil of the mockingbird, snaps his fingers, and no, I can't. I used my last spell. No!
Oh no.
No!
Okay, don't panic, don't panic. I had a plan too, okay? I have an old man costume that I'm going to give you, and you and Cal can basically be brothers. So I'm going to give you my little fake beard, and I also have like a little shawl, and you can dress yourself up like an old man. But you have to give it back because I used that.
Okay, yeah,
One
that'll
stick
work.
or what?
Oh, that sucks. I was going to combine myself to look like a tiefling version of Nelisian, and I was going to talk like you all for the rest of the session. But I used my spell slots. Ah, I'm so mad.
Well, you can talk like Cal instead.
That's true.
How do I talk?
But I want to give I'm gonna give you my costume for right now.
Okay.
But you better give it back.
Don't worry.
All right, I'll just
I
be a
will.
few minutes. I'll meet you guys at the tavern.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
at the tavern and I'm sleeping.
All right. So that is a good spot to let Molly exit. Thanks for joining, Molly. Sorry to see you go early, but we appreciate you giving us some of your time.
Yeah, I
Sweet
can't
dreams,
wait to
Dawn.
hear the rest of this session.
Nice
I'm
to
so
hear.
excited.
Sleep tight,
right.
Dawn.
Bye, guys.
Sweet
Bye.
dreams, Don. Don't let the bed
Love
bugs bite.
you.
Until dawn.
Until dawn.
While we're metagaming, Clayton, yeah, it is. The tokens are not, but the map itself is. I don't know why. Oh, it's not now.
I'm sorry. What's going on? Did I miss-
Clayton's asking me questions about the stream.
Oh, gotcha.
So I was instead of just texting him, I was
And
like,
now
no.
that she left, it's all fucked up.
Oh no.
It's
Hang on,
not.
I'm gonna join on my phone.
Is the second one? Okay, I gotcha.
Get everything fixed here. Give me a second.
I was going to be a tiefling, and my name was going
Lauren
to be
has be
Theo,
low in their camera.
and I was going to talk like this for the rest of the time, and just my hair was also going to be braided similar to you, Dusk, on either side.
You know, I was giving you trouble
Oh my
about not
goodness.
taking that second level of warlock, but if you did, you could have picked the Mask of Many Faces invocation and cast disguise self the no spell slots.
Ooh. That's pretty cool.
That would take me so much longer to do things I want to do, though, Keith.
Hmm.
Man, that's so annoying. That's the last time I'm nice with my identify, or at least I'll wait till I can use it as a ritual next
Yeah.
time.
Oh, that was I was going to ask. Do you have ritual casting?
I do have it. So, I guess technically when we're at the tavern, I can identify all the stuff. But, oh man, consequences.
All right. Let us know when you're ready for us to continue there, Clayton.
Go ahead.
So what is everyone? So we have Zog heading off to the authorities. We have, I assume, everyone else going to the tavern / inn. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, that is
Don't-
correct.
I don't want Zog to go by himself, but the goblins didn't want me to go with them. I'm going to make sure that Dusk or Dawn, oh my gosh, now I'm doing it. That Dawn is like, safely in the tavern and has a room. And I'm going to like pay them for the room that we're going to share. And then I'm going to just sneak out and, well, not sneak out, let people know where I'm going and just kind of wait for Zog. Just kind of try to meet him just in case like something happens.
Okay, cool. So Zog, you are roughly about 5 minutes further ahead for the sake of time of Dusk catching up to you. She kind of checks her sister into the tavern, gets her situated, and then kind of runs out the door to help you. The rest of the group is heading towards the tavern. We're going to go ahead and jump to the authorities and the Zog encounter first. So you, Zog, make it into like the constable shop, not shop, but like their headquarters with the goblins.
Okay. Did you get a chance to look at my the backstory a little bit?
I did.
Okay.
Yes, if there is something you are, give me a second to pull it up though.
Oh no, it's okay.
Okay.
Like I'd mentioned a pin with the emblem of House Tanlon in it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pull it out and show it to the constable.
Okay, cool. And he goes, working for House Tanlon, I see. What do you have tonight, sir?
These goblins, they attacked shopkeep and some random citizens. There's a bit of a melee. These are the survivors.
Oh, all right. He goes, do you know what shop they were attacking, by the way? I have to log this in my journal.
Arthur's
Adventuring Emporium.
I know. Those are big words. No.
All right. So he kind of scribbles it down and he's like, yeah, I always forget the name of that shop. The shopkeep is a little bit weird. So he scribbles it down and he kind of peers over the counter and he's like, four in total. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Cool.
So they were mostly just robbing. So just take their hands. This one's already missing some fingers. I don't know if you want to take that into account.
He kind of peers over his shoulder for a second. He's like, man, I can't ever find those two. He's like, give me a second. And he kind of walks away and shouts down the hall and he's like, Fred, George, get up here. And you see two people run up and they're like, what? And he's like, will you take these back to the holding cell? We have to handle them. Shoplifting, thievery, the whole 9 yards. He's like, I'm going to book them, but take them away. And he grabs them and each of the both of the constituents, Fred and George, both pull out two sets of manacles. They slap those manacles on and hand you the pile of manacles back. And they haul the goblins away. And he passes you a ledger of some written notes in it. And this is essentially what you're going to turn into the Tanlon government for part of your bonus or pay at the end of the year. And we can address that. I'll kind of go through that whole idea with you when we have our one-on-one session, talking about all of that type of stuff.
Cool. I got an invoice.
Yes, an invoice, essentially. Yes, correct. So yeah, that is handled. So as that's coming, Dusk, you come kind of like running into the building around the time that you're.
I don't want to run in the building because I don't want to like cause alarm. I'm just waiting for Zog outside.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. All right. So you get to the building. Zog is in there for a couple of minutes, give or take, while he's handling all of this. And then depending on what you want to do from here, Zog, I will let you kind of take that away. Would you stay and chat a little bit? Do you want to head back to the tavern? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'll leave the building and meet Dusk outside.
Cool. All right, so you guys meet each other outside of the building. We're gonna stop right there for just a second. We're gonna jump to the people in the tavern. Well, not in the tavern yet. We're gonna kind of retroactively go back to when you guys all kind of diverged the first time. So we're back to the main group of Nelisian, Yana, and Cal right now, as Dusk and Dawn had kind of run off to tuck Dawn into the inn. But yeah, so we're back to Nelisian, Yana, and Cal at the moment. What are you guys doing as you guys are kind of leaving the shop, heading towards the tavern?
Yana's finishing putting on the costume that Dawn gave him and putting on the fake beard. And it's like, Dear my, how do you have a beard like this, Cal? It's so itchy. It's not even comfortable.
Oh, I don't know. I think when it comes naturally, you start to grow into it.
Oh my, this is not for me at all, to be honest. I can only imagine how much shit's gonna get in my beard whenever I eat with it.
Yeah, it's not quite working for you, and you're kind of taking my style. Yeah, maybe try something else.
I would love to, but this is all that Don had to give. So until we refill my magic slots, this is we'll have to just be matching bearded brothers.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
Well,
two whiskered fellows.
2 whiskered fellows. I will show you the ways.
Can't
I
wait.
just have to stop for a second. I have never heard people with facial hair described as whiskered fellows. That's a first for me. In all of my years, I have never heard that.
Like
I applaud you.
Get
used to it. But anyways, carry on. Okay, so you guys are talking about being whiskered fellows together.
Yes.
Yes, you see, my favorite thing is to ruffle my mustache a bit whenever it gets a little bit itchy, and it just feels great. And I do find myself a bit more intelligent whenever I scratch my beard. So give it a try.
Oh yes. So Yana will wiggle his nose with his mustache, and yes, I can feel the power of the mustache. I quite like this, actually. I can't wait. Nelisian, you have got to try a beard, my friend.
Yes, some call it an alternate form of magic.
Indeed. I feel enchanted. Ooh, as he's just feeling the beard all around his cheeks.
Feel the magical threads between your whiskers.
Cal, is that why you didn't cast any magic? Because all your magic is going into your beard.
I'd say all of my magic is stored in my body. And then he rolls up his sleeves a bit and flexes. Because I find this is plenty magic for me sometimes.
While we're having a slight bonding moment, just so you don't have to give me the details, but does the Holly and Ivy at least increase armor class?
What is your current armor class?
Well, mine is 13, but if it increases it at all, I want to give it to Cal.
Yes, it will increase it. It's higher than 13. Not by much, but it's a step up. Yes, it does increase AC just a hair.
Because Cal, what is your AC? Because your hit points are garbage.
My AC is 11.
Okay.
Level 2 helped me a lot.
Again, you don't have to worry about till after the session to give the deets, but I am going to take the Holly and Ivy and be like, well, I'm on the market for armor myself. I think, Cal, you need these more than any of us possibly need. I could see the wincing in your eyes as you were fighting the Mr. Claus. So I need you to be safe, sir. And here, just take this armor, okay?
Wow, you dress like me, and now you truly understand me. It's a miracle. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Yana.
You're very welcome. Perhaps maybe in my time on this earth, I will, have a daughter who I will name Mums.
Oh, surely you must. You see, having a daughter is greater magic than anything I've seen in my life.
I would imagine based on don't cry, dear sir, as Yana lifts his arm over her shoulder. I can only imagine having a daughter like Daisy must have been pouring your love like watering a fine piece of plant life as it was growing and flourishing.
Oh, Yana.
And I imagine that your love was much like the sunshine to her, and as she gave the oxygen to you, and it was just a tit-for-tat relationship where you both grew together and loved each other.
Cal leans all the way down to Yana and buries his face in his beard. Yana, thank you for such kind words.
Don't worry about the snot. I'll wring it out before I give it back to Dawn. You just let it out.
See, as he blows his nose a bit into the fake beard. You could give this back to Dawn later, right?
Yes.
As you guys are babbling on like this, walking up the street towards the tavern, you hear somebody over their shoulder be like, who the fuck has whiskers and cries like that? And like walks off. It's like, and then you like start to hear murmurs of people thinking you are two of the weirdest people they've met in a long time. We're seeing in a while.
Did I hear
What
the
is it?
person who said the thing about the whiskers?
Roll me a perception check at disadvantage, please.
I would like to as well.
Both of you at disadvantage.
Oh, not even worth. I got it too. Not worth it.
13.
You hear people talking. You don't quite make out what is happening. At least Yana does. You do know that they were looking at you when they said what they said. Cal, you have absolutely no idea what they said. You don't even know that people were talking. You're so engrossed in the conversation that's happening with Yana that you didn't quite pick that up.
Yeah.
But
I don't hear him over my own sobbing.
As I'm comforting Cal, I'm noticing some of the people now turning eyes at us. So you just worry about yourself, Cal, and let this all out. If people are looking, this is just toxic masculinity. It's okay to be a man and cry. You cry it out, good sir, and feel your
Why are they
feelings.
looking? Why are they looking? What is wrong with this town and all of its naughty boys?
I would like to think that it's because our peers are so glorious, Cal, but I'm afraid that it's because we're grown men and we're crying. And that's not a social norm, but it should be. But it's okay. It's okay. Let it out. Let it out.
It is. I find magic flows through me the best when I can let it run through my emotions and just let it out.
Well, we need to remember to make you cry before the next battle because that was very stressful.
I'm sorry. I just saw red. And then I just went for Santa. I didn't want
okay.
him to die.
It's okay. Some people say you're strong as an ox, but we all know you're strong as a bull. When you see red, you run.
True. What is it, Yana? How do you understand me so well now?
I don't even know. It's the beard.
I was wrong about you, you see. I didn't care for it too much. I just didn't like that you made this little Sprin cry. You should have seen her face.
If I could have, I wish I wouldn't have because it would make me sad. Yana will
Sure.
reach for Nelisian to try to grab him and pull him into the huddle as
My gosh.
As Yana also thinks to himself, what the hell is going on? Why are we still with this group of people? You need to fucking leave. I reach for Nelisian to pull him in. Come here.
I'll
brother.
also pose him in.
Oh, God.
I'm so glad I met you guys. You see, I've just been a wanderer so far. Before I met those purple princesses and you fine folk.
Oh, so have I. I don't even know where I am. I've been alone for the past 2 weeks.
Oh,
No one
my.
around. No family. No friends. And
I understand.
We found each other. It's like destiny.
It is. There are some magical fates above that have conjured such a series of beautiful events. You see, I was a wanderer myself. I've just been here all alone. I haven't had any semblance of a family in years because I've been so afraid to get too close.
Yana will shake him. You listen to me. You are not alone. You are not alone anymore. Neither am I.
Then Cal scratches his mustache and wipes some of the snot on his sleeve.
There. We'll get you cleaned
Thank
up
you.
at the tavern. We'll get you cleaned up at the tavern. Let's go get a stiff cold one, as the youngins would say. Isn't that right, Cal?
That is, I think I know what the young ones say. I don't know anymore.
Oh, God.
You know what would help?
What, Cal?
You know, I don't know about you, but I've heard of some lost children. There are children out there right now that are all alone, wandering just like us. We should make sure they get back to their families.
I think that's a grand idea. That's how I can regain my cult. That's a brilliant idea. I think that we should find the lost children. That would be amazing.
But I agree. First, let's get the cold one, shall we?
I agree. Or maybe a hot one. I kind of forgot that it's winter and it's rather chilly.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yes.
I also
maybe
love hot ones.
Maybe
I
this
just know
tavern
everyone
will,
else likes cold ones.
maybe this tavern will have some sort of maybe mulled cider where
Oh,
that'd be so amazing. Maybe it would be warm and spicy with maybe a some brandy and maybe a blend of mulling spices, garnish,
Oh yes.
cinnamon
Oh
stick, and
please.
maybe a slice of orange.
Oh yes, please. I do love that. Perhaps a nice pine tea, please.
Oh my Lord. What are we waiting for? Why are we still standing here? We must
Yes.
get on with it.
Come on, let's go to the mission. And then I pull him as we start to walk towards the tavern.
Nelisian just taking this.
This
I
could
don't
be its own show.
Right?
Oh my god.
Man. Well, kudos on that RP. Well done. I was along for the ride there.
I think
Well,
Alex and I deserve an inspiration.
I think you're right, actually. I will go ahead and give each of you an inspiration. I think you are correct.
There's something about Yana suddenly being like Cal just allows him to
Does the
express.
veil change your personality too?
Cal thinks that you understand him now.
All right. So while all of that babbling was going on, I do need to know what Nelisian was doing at that moment, because I know you were involved in that fiasco that we just witnessed. I just need to know what Nelisian was thinking about this, in addition to what you were doing as you left the Arthur's Emporium, or Arthur's Adventuring Emporium.
Yes, yes. Well, if we can retcon slightly, there was an extra invoice that Nelisian saw that no one else saw. And on it was something interesting. So before leaving the Arthur's Emporium, he would like to talk to Arthur and ask him, on this sheet is a book called The Way of Kings. What is this?
While you mention that, since we're going retroactive here, we're going to say you were the last one kind of leaving with the group. So this is a slight side conversation that's happening. He kind of frantically looks up at you for a second and rips the ledger out of your hand and is like, where did you find that? And he stuffs it underneath and he goes, I forgot that I had that shipment. Keep that quiet. And he's like, he kind of like looks around a little bit, kind of over his shoulders. And he's like, I will discuss in further detail with you at the tavern.
I will see you there. And if I
Cool.
don't, I'll find you.
Yeah, you know where to find me. I get it. And he kind of like shoos you guys out of the shop at that point. And as you're leaving, you hear him kind of like bustling through some things. And he's preparing the shop, essentially locking up like he said he would with Dawn. So you guys are making your way to the tavern. For the sake of time, we're going to say you guys get to the tavern about 10 minutes later, probably 15 minutes later. You have Zog and Dusk join you at said tavern. What do we want to do in the tavern now?
I wanted to ask Zog some questions while we were walking.
Conversation on the way. Sure.
Perfect. Okay. So then we will jump back to that. So the three of you, Nelisian, Yana, and Cal, made it to the tavern there. Dawn is asleep. What are Dusk and Zog talking about?
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. But I didn't want to like go in and freak everybody out. But yeah, if you want to walk to the tavern, we can go that way. Are you okay, by the way?
Yeah. Yeah, we're good. I don't know. I was worried you guys were gonna like if you guys started seeing me like the goblins, you'd I don't know, send me away or try to fight me or something. I like you guys.
Well, I know that me and my sister really like you, so I don't want you to fear that. I mean, we're tieflings. We've gotten our fair share of, like, you know. But I think that you're really nice. So I just hope that you're okay.
Oh, thanks. That's good. Yeah, I'm good. It's we're all good.
Okay. Well, if you ever want to talk, let me know. And yeah, that's all I wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure luck was okay.
That's nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm
You
gonna
can be
check
at the
my
tavern
bag
now.
to see if anything's missing. Just kidding.
Savage.
JK. Continue to the tavern.
Oh,
Oh.
Speaking of, just don't tell anybody this, but I did get this, and I pull out a minor healing potion that I stole.
That's pretty good.
I think it'll help us, right?
Yeah, those are always useful.
Yeah. Well, if you ever need it, let me know. I have it, and I just shove it back in my bag.
Hey, thanks. I just figured out how to heal too.
Oh, really? That's so cool that you can do that. I always have like such an I don't know. I admire healers, obviously, because my sister is like one of the best people on this planet. But yeah, I think healers are really good and they're really necessary.
I don't know if I'm as good as Dawn, but I can do it.
that's super cool. And I saw you
Like with your little whip thing, that was badass. That was pretty cool.
Thanks.
Perfect. Okay. So you guys are having conversing as you're heading to the tavern. We're going to kind of jump back to the tavern for just a moment. So as you guys enter, Nelisian, I need you to roll me a perception check, please.
Okay. Oh, God. 9.
Okay. You do not notice anything for the time being.
Son of a bitch!
So you guys walk in to the tavern. Where are you guys going? Are you guys heading to the bar? Are you looking for a table? What do you guys want to do in said tavern?
I think a table would be nice.
Yeah, I think finding a table. If someone wants to go get drinks, I can go grab a table. But I have no problem going to get a table for all of us. If someone could go get me a mulled cider.
I think
Oh, absolutely.
it would be best if Yana was nowhere near the bartender.
Thank you. Yes, I will go grab us, preferably at least a half booth table because I hate sitting on chairs. I prefer a booth if it can be. So I'm going to go look for maybe a full booth if it's available.
Yes, the chairs are not great on the back.
No, not at all.
I will go get drinks. Nelisian, what can I get you?
Just a mead would be fine. Thank you.
Of course.
As Yana
Coming
looks,
right up. Drinks on me.
There's a spiced honey mead, there's a maple mead, a cranberry mead, or a vanilla bean mead.
Oh, I forgot that there's a menu. Let me look. Let me look and see what we've got here.
Oh, is this the actual menu?
Yeah.
Cal, if you wouldn't mind getting me a spiced honey mead, please.
Oh, yes, of course. Spiced honey mead. And what was it for you, Yana?
A mulled cider, please.
Mulled cider, of course. Coming right up.
Yes.
Here's $8.50.
Thank you. I can
Nice.
spare the change from my coin purse here.
Perfect. Okay, so you guys go and grab a table. For the sake of the description for audio listeners, and I guess also for viewers, because I don't have a map, unfortunately, set up for the tavern that will, I assume, be coming next session. You guys are sitting in, so you walk in, and the tavern kind of opens up in front of you, and there's kind of like little alcoves off on the left or the right, kind of tucked a little bit further because the left and right of the shop is exceeding the door. So you kind of have those little nooks on the left or right hand side. Throughout there's just a traditional bar table set up with the bar kind of in the central area when you walk in. Off to the left, you do see the performance stage that Yana had been up on initially. So that's kind of on the northern side of the building where that stage is. So there's quite a few open tables. The only open booth / table is kind of on the southern wall, kind of along the wall there, a little bit away from the entrance of the bar, but you do see a nice big open booth tabletop for you guys to take a seat at while Cal heads up to the bar.
These dogs are barking. I need to sit down ASAP.
While we wait for everyone, Nelisian would like to sit with Yana and maybe have a quick conversation, just one-on-one.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. So are you guys wanting to talk privately on the side then, I'm guessing?
Yeah, just,
Which is totally fine.
Yeah, just while we wait for people to show up.
Okay, cool. I was more so, didn't know if this was a conversation you guys wanted to have with the group or in a side conversation is what I was getting at, like a text conversation.
Well, everyone can listen, but Nelisian is just wanting to talk to
Cool.
Yana.
Take it away.
So it's just you and me, Nelisian.
I can't take you seriously while you talk like that.
Forgive me. Please hang on. I will pull the I'm wearing a beard over the veil, so I'll pull the veil down over my mouth. All right. Is that better?
Yes.
You prefer to talk to me this way? Okay. So it's just you and me, Elysian.
It is.
Best friends. How are you?
I am well, thank you. I just wanted to take a quick minute and apologize. I think I judged you too harshly when we first met. After Hoyd turned into goo, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation using the cloak.
You heard that, huh?
I did.
Yeah, it's really hard to talk about what's happened to me without it sounding crazy. I don't know where we are. Where I am from is not Tezra, which I learned talking with Hoyd. This is what this continent's called. My friends and I were battling kind of like she seemed like a god. I don't know. We called her the Frost Maiden, but in doing so, the portal opened up and we all got scattered. And I woke up here, and Rolo was the closest thing to a brother that I've ever had. And I've not known where he was. So it was nice to at least hear from him again. So
I gathered as much. I just wanted you to know I know what it's like to be isolated and alone. And I apologize for being a bit standoffish. But
that's okay. I'm gonna try really hard not to hug you right now.
We're not gonna hug.
But I know. I know. That's why I'm gonna try not to hug you. But that means a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. As long as our paths go in the same direction, you can count me as a friend. And if it's within my ability, I will help you get home.
Can I be honest with you for a second then?
I'm going to interrupt for just a second. I need a perception check from Nelisian why this conversation is happening.
Natural 1 for a 5 total.
Oh.
No. Is that the first natural one in the campaign?
It might.
I think I had one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, I couldn't remember. I knew it was one of the first ones. Okay. Keep on. You don't see anything. Keep on with your conversation.
Roger that.
There is, well, really, I say is that sounding crazy. There is, ever since I got here, there's been a voice in my head, and it's the thing that we were fighting before we got through the portal. And she yells at me on a constant basis.
At that point, you hear a large thud coming from the booth, 2 booths in front of where. So as Nilesian and Yana are sitting at their booth, Nilesian is kind of closer to the door, away from him, 2 booths away from him on the other side of Yana. As Yana's opening up about this, you hear a large thud, and kind of around that same time actually is when Yana recognizes Zog and Dusk walking in as well. You guys can keep going, but that does interrupt this train of thought for just a moment, where it kind of puts the thud was large enough to kind of shock you guys for a second, and kind of break up the flow of the conversation.
Kind of jolts as he sees him walking in, and be like, "Oh, Dusk, and Zog, come over here." And then Yana pulls veil back. Yana pulls veil back up. Oh, please, we've got a table for you all. Please come over.
Oh, hello.
Cal.
Wow, you look great. What's your name?
Yeah, where's George?
Shh, Zog.
Wait, okay. How loud did you say that there, Zog?
Loud enough for them to hear me across the bar.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Okay,
God.
so as the words George leave your mouth, you see like 3 serving maids and a bartender kind of look at you standing there, and they kind of do this like quick glimpse, and that's when you see them looking at the wall of shame and kind of looking back at you and trying to figure out where the connection is.
Oh, not George. And I just walk over to the table.
Oh, Zog, I know your memory is a spotty thing, good sir. But my name is Horace. I'm Horace, good sir.
Horace. Hi. Do you know George? No, sorry, I get it.
We don't know a George, Zog. You've known Horace for quite some time. Perhaps you want to sit down and
Are you
rest?
guys hungry?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm always hungry.
Did I get my drinks from the bar?
You did. You did get your drinks from the bar. You're walking back. I need you to tell me what drinks you got from the bar, though.
Oh crap! Do I remember the? It was like a
mulled cider.
And
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh, mulled cider.
honey mead.
I know that one. A spiced honey mead and a hot tea.
And the mushroom risotto and the chicken pot pie and grilled salmon.
Oh my.
I'm kidding.
I was gonna go in and order all the food. How does it work? Did a waiter come by, or do you go to the bar and order?
So as of right now, kind of what transpired is you guys walk up. As this is happening, it's kind of all happening retroactively, because by the time you guys got there, Cal would have been able to make it up to the bar, order his drinks, and come back. You kind of all converge on the table at once, with you guys walking in, the loud thump. There is a barmaid that walks up with the mention of George. So if you are wanting to place an order for food, she would be able to take it. At that point, Cal has walked back with the 3 drinks that he has, for both the one for Nalisi and the one for Yana. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So you can order food if you'd like. You can go to the bar or talk to the barmaid. It's totally up to you. The barmaid, you can tell, is kind of observing all of the nearby booths to see if they find George. But you can flag her down if you'd like
Oh,
to.
hey.
Yes. What can I do for you?
Let's see. We have the roast beef, the grilled salmon, mushroom risotto.
I'll make that 2, Zog.
beef stew, chicken pot pie.
One of everything.
Don't-
Two of
don't
everything.
Don't forget about the spiced nuts.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. Spiced nuts for the table.
So as you're writing or as you're saying this, her eyes kind of start to bug out. She's not used to somebody ordering two of everything. So she'd written some stuff down and is like quickly scribbling out some things and readjusting numbers. And she kind of looks at you and she's like, so what you're asking is one of everything on the menu. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or two.
Well-
I'm sorry, two?
Yeah, why not?
I think 2 of everything.
It's been a good day.
Perfect. And whose tab is this going on?
I don't want to start a tab. I'll just I'll reach into my box and pull out like 10 gold.
Okay. Perfect. What pile are you handing her the gold from?
I don't
you
know if I
handing
can
it-
tell the difference. I'm just pulling it out.
Perfect.
That's true. I guess only Nelisian can
There,
tell the
you
difference
like
right now.
if I can tell the difference, I'll use real gold.
Okay.
I don't want to
Yeah,
get any more trouble at this point.
Yeah, you can. It's kind of jumbled, but you kind of have the idea of where the gold was placed in the box. So you have a rough idea that if you reach into that pile, you're probably going to get a good chunk of gold.
Oh, it's partitioned like a nice board
If,
game box.
If it helps, Nelisian can just kind of point at which pile
Okay.
is real.
Cool. Okay. She gets her gold. She runs back and she's like, I'll have that up for you guys shortly.
Wait,
And
does
she,
that
like-
does that include the drinks too, or is that just the food?
That was just the food. You guys can place an order for drinks with her as well, if you'd like.
I pictured Nelisian almost like taking Zog off like the first time out in the world. And Nelisian's like, now this is 1 gold.
This is a nickel.
Count out 1, 2, 3.
You're making sure to pull the real ones out. Yeah.
You're going to give them 5 and they're going to give you 1 back. Okay.
Now the
So-
5 you're giving them is gold colored. The one they're giving us back is going to be silver colored. Don't be alarmed.
So perfect. And I'll take care of the gold totals after this session, along with the shopping list. I'll kind of tell you guys what you guys spent on food. Is anybody wanting to order drinks alongside?
Yes, I want a gingerbread martini, please.
Okay. Perfect.
Zog, does anybody want a gingerbread martini?
I'll just do a brandy.
Okay,
Kyle is getting our drinks. We're fine.
but you guys need more drinks.
Oh, we're getting turned up tonight.
Yeah,
I
Of
know
course.
I will need at least another spiced honey mead.
I have been itching to play my pan flute today, so
okay, I want to buy everybody's round.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Turnip. Is that in relation to turnips? Are you a farmer as well?
I'm sorry, Cal. This is the one thing we don't have in common. I don't know anything about farming, but I would love to learn.
Oh, apologies. We had
Well, we
such
can-
good connection.
But maybe instead of turned up, we can say turnips. We're going to have a turnip night.
Oh, I absolutely love turnips.
Oh,
So yes, I would love that.
Let's have a turnip night. Is that right?
Turnips. Oh, you all must come see my farm.
I would love to.
We can have the most turnip night you've ever had.
It sounds like the best night of my life.
And corn. A corn turnip night.
Does the corn have the juice?
Mm.
Oh, absolutely. It's got juices, it's got kettles. I can make you anything out of corn.
I like corn.
Anything.
Corn is pretty good.
I do like the kettle corn.
Roll me one more perception, please, there, Nelisian, while all of this is going on.
Please. This is Jason all over again. 12? Please.
You don't see anything.
No. So while we're waiting on our food and our drink, should we like just discuss all of the weird shit that just happened to us like today? Because it's been kind of crazy.
It has been a crazy day.
Because like you guys saw Witt die. I didn't see that. It was completely different. He just looked disappointed. And then all of a sudden, well, we went in and it was Halloween or the Hollow Fest, whatever it's called. And then we came out and it was winter. So we missed some time.
Wait, take a step
Hang
back.
Hmm.
We watched Witt turn into a puddle.
He didn't turn into a puddle.
Was when you saw him, was it before or after he was talking to the gold man? There's a guy in gold armor that was like yelling at him.
It was kind of hard to like see anything. It was kind of like looking through, when it's really cold outside and the windows get like frosted. So it kind of looked like that. So I couldn't see anything like too in detail, but like I saw like, like when you guys said he melted into a puddle, it's almost like he like solidified a little bit more for me, and he just looked disappointed around that time.
So did you see him turn into a puddle?
No, I didn't see him turn into a puddle at all.
He just became clear.
A little bit clearer.
Interesting.
Perhaps
So
we're
I don't-
having some
Could you
sort
see
of
us?
freak reaction.
Jesse, could I see them? I could see them, right? Like, you're muted.
You're muted, Jesse, Dungeon Daddy.
Thank you. Yes, you saw the equivalent of what Witt looked like before he solidified. So you did know where they were at. They looked ethereal to you, essentially. They kind of looked a little bit transparent,
Right,
kind of like
and-
a celestial look to them.
Yeah, and then when Witt turned into a puddle, he
Mhm.
solidified for me.
Correct.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you never saw his body morph into a puddle. You just watched Witt solidify on your end.
Yeah, so like I don't know. So everybody else was kind of blurry, and kind of hard to see. But then when the moment that you guys said that he turned into a puddle, when you explained everything that happened to me, that's when he became very clear to me.
And then
So I don't know if he's actually dead.
You
He
could
didn't
still
say
be out
anything?
there.
No, he didn't say anything to me.
You see, I have Witt's spry. Sylpharena. She's right here. And then he pulls his spry out for no one else to see.
Well,
I
we
believe
know
it's
what to
called
do
Sprint.
if we see him again.
Sprint.
We just need to get the contract out and break the seal and read it, and maybe he'll melt. Or I don't know, maybe you can't kill him the same way twice.
what does the spren say?
Sylpharena, what did you see happen to Witt?
I saw Witt die. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do we hear this?
You do not. It is just Cal that's hearing this right now. And she like sits there for a second and she goes, "Tell them Witt is dead."
She says that Witt is dead.
Then
I'm not quite sure what you saw there, Dawn.
Well, maybe it was just a
Dusk.
dream or something.
Damn it.
well,
Cal, are you sure
it-
that's tea you're drinking?
Oh my.
is it possible that wherever you were,
Wait, who's talking
duh.
right now?
I'm talking. Horace is talking. Is it possible, Dusk, that where you were was a different plane of existence? Why would we look ethereal to you when you looked ethereal to us?
I don't know. This is like very confusing to me. This whole situation, because like it almost feels like it was like a dimension in another dimension, right? Because
Can I roll something to see if I know about the ethereal plane?
Yeah, go for it.
-17 -1, so 16.
Okay. So you recognize what they're talking about, but it might not be the same ethereal plane that you're talking about. You've heard of similar situations to this when you were hunting Kalishtar. So when you captured Kalishtar, you heard a lot of them discussing similar situations. You haven't pinpointed that it's the ethereal realm that you're used to hearing about, but you have heard of this particular instance before.
Oh, right. So you were a ghost when you saw this. And when we killed him, he became a ghost, so he became more real to you.
Wait, I was a ghost?
She was a ghost.
You were on the you might have been in a place called the ethereal plane. That's where ghosts are.
Were you craving taffy?
Or pickles.
I always crave taffy.
I was craving taffy.
What about pickles?
Ghost.
Ooh, I like
That
pickles.
point at done.
Some ghosts do like pickles. That's what
Or
we found
Dusk.
out.
Some do.
I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorite aspects of this campaign so far is the fact that this totally makes sense that you guys would be mixing up everyone's names. Like it actually, this is the first like RP that makes sense to me, where this is how I expect a bunch of adventurers that just met each other thrown into this environment to react. So it's perfect.
I mean, if you ever hung around twins, that happens all the time.
It's fantastic. This is, I just had to say it. I'm like, man, this has been great to observe from the outside.
Yeah, that is actually a really smart way to simulate confusing twins, like have similar names.
I did have a friend, not to metagame too much though. I did have a friend who listened to the Critmas Special, and it was the only episode he'd ever listened to. And he was like, I thought it was so cool that you had like a girl playing with you guys to like have diversity. And I was like, we had 2 playing with us. And he goes, what? I thought there was only 1.
Yep, just 1 girl playing 2 characters. We got it.
We're so diverse.
Anyway, sorry, get back to it. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
It's good.
So yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's very weird. It felt like, okay, well, sometimes they sleepwalk, and sometimes it feels like that. Like that's how it felt in there.
Interesting.
Well, maybe there's a way to save Hoyd after all.
Yeah, maybe.
Do we want
and then
to?
and then
No,
we all
not at all.
got these little creatures, and they're following us around, and they're super cute. But like, do I need to feed it? Is it going to die? I don't know anything about these things.
I'm going to pour some brandy under my sprin.
I push my mull cider, one of the 2 glasses, over to my sprin to see if it'll
So, Zog, as you are attempting to pour some brandy for your sprin, it kind of is the same interaction that Dusk had, where you pour the brandy out just a little bit, and the sprin opens. It's the equivalent of its mouth, and it attempts to drink, but it all falls straight through.
Zog,
And
you're
then-
getting it all over the floor.
I'm just going to be brushing off my lap of all the brandy.
What are you doing?
And then, Cal, you said that you could talk to your sprin. I can't talk to mine.
Oh my. What, like it doesn't respond to you?
It tries to.
Oh.
I look down to my sprin and be like, are you okay? Do you need food?
It stands there for a second, and you get the faintest head nod or head shake that it is trying to instill to you that it's fine without eating.
Okay, so it said it no with its head, but it didn't talk to me. But you just said that your sprin said that Witt was dead.
Yes, it is speaking full words and phrases.
Your guys' sprins have shape. Mine is just like looks like Hoyd.
Oh my.
Yours looks like Hoyd.
Yeah, it's just like
how
a
ugly it must be.
blobby melted puddle.
Oh.
That's the most attractive he's looked this entire time. You're lucky. Cal, can your sprin talk to our sprin?
Oh my. That might be worth something. And then he stops and says, did you guys hear that? And then he looks under the table for something that he heard.
You don't see anything under the table currently. Silfrina does kind of give you a little bit of recognition that she thinks she could converse with some other Sprin. She's not sure. It's been a long time since she's tried. Not a long time since she's tried to talk to Sprin. A long time since she's tried to talk to Sprin in your guys' current state.
And then he holds sorry.
No, you're good.
Silfrina, puts her on the table and says, "Sweet dear, could you interact with their Spren for me?"
At that point, Silfrina kind of puffs up a little bit, getting a little bit proud of herself. And she shakes her shoulders a little bit, and she flexes and she lights up kind of this bright blue color, and she has appeared to all of you now. So you guys can see little Silfrina standing in the table. None of you guys recognize what she looks like except for Cal, to the extent where you look like you're looking in a mirror of your younger lost daughter's face. So she has taken on the appearance of Daisy. And she kind of addresses the group for a second, and she goes, "I will talk to everyone's Sprin except for yours." And she points at Yana.
Cal is just standing there, mouth open, lips quivering, and a tear coming down from his eye.
Al, are you okay? Who is that?
He doesn't say anything. He just.
I go give Cal a hug.
She's as beautiful as I remember her.
Oh, Cal, does she look like your Daisy?
She does, just like my little Daisy, as glowy as her as well. She brights up the room just like that.
Real quick, a minute ago, did Cal say, "Did you hear that?" like out loud to us?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. As to what was under the table, yes, you did hear him ask that. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna I mean, I saw him looking at the table and didn't seem to say anything, so I'm gonna like scan the room the best I can to see if there's anything like out of the ordinary.
Okay. So while that is happening, a look of recognition comes across Nelisian's face as well. Kind of all of this is happening simultaneously. So you don't notice anything, Zog, out of the ordinary from kind of checking to see something under the table or what caused that disturbance. At least
I was
not
looking around the room.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Cal looked under the table and didn't say anything. So.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you kind of look around, and you notice at the same time kind of what catches Nelisian's eye, that you see 3 figures stand up at a booth about 6 booths away from where you are currently, and they look very similar to the appearance of Nelisian. In description of said characters. They're the same race. They look like cookie cutter. I say cookie cutter lightly. It's a matching resemblance to Nelisian without being Nelisian.
Okay. So it's 3 Shardar Kai. It's not 3 doubles of Nelisian. Okay.
Correct. And that's kind of where your focus is pulled towards as Silfrina is kind of addressing the crowd as a whole. And as she's addressing the crowd as a whole, she has said that she's not going to talk to Yana's Spren. Yana, you've gleaned that this is probably coming from the point that she blames you for having killed Hoyd.
Yeah.
And at that point, she motions kind of, she hasn't caught this commotion going on that Zog and Nelisian have seen. She's kind of motioning for you guys to put your Spren on the table. She's kind of being like, yeah, put them up here and let's see what I can do. And she goes, okay, Yana, I'm sorry. I will talk to your sprint. I just don't know if I'll tell you everything that they're saying right now, okay? I'm still a little bit annoyed.
All right. Now, Yana will pick up his sprint, sit it on the table.
Cool.
I will do the same.
Are you going to be upset if my sprint looks like Hoyd?
Well,
At that
puddle
point,
Hoyd.
she kind of like looks over the counter where she has a sense of where your sprint is, and she kind of looks over the table and she's like, I'll deal with it. And she's like, I'm as angry. Well, no, I'm still angry at Yana, but I am also a little bit upset with all of you, but I won't hold it against you. And I'll still talk to your sprint, even though it looks like Hoyd. Yeah, that's fine. Put them all up here. She's like, I'll have a conversation with them.
Continue to scratch the head of his sprint.
Okay. At this point, there's a lot happening. And so we will retroactively go back at this moment. So this is kind of the scene that I'm going to set for you. So we have you guys all sitting in a booth. Silfrena is talking to your sprint now, or is about to. Cal had heard a noise that he couldn't really quite pinpoint where it was. He thought it was maybe coming from under the table. At that moment is when Zog and Nelisian kind of looked around and noticed the Shadar Kai standing up from their booth, and the barmaid is coming back with all your food. It's kind of all happening at once. It's just like a culmination of a lot of things happening around your booth. So I just kind of need to know what is going on. What do you guys want to do? And we will address, we're going to start with Nelisian and Zog because they noticed something together.
I would say aloud, holy shit. And I'll stand up, and I don't know how we're seated, but I assume I'm going to have to climb over some people because we were seated first, me and Yana. But I'm going to get up and walk over towards the people I saw.
Cool. They give you a slight nod of recognition when you're clambering out of the booth. Okay, yeah, so that's what you're going to get from them. Zog, what are you doing currently as you're watching Nelisian try to climb out of the booth to go over to people that it appears that he knows?
They weren't like standing up threateningly, were they?
Mm-mm. Looks like they just kind of stood up from whatever they were doing in unison, but they do not look menacing as of right now.
I'll just grab a fork and wait for that roast beef.
Perfect. Okay. So all that's happening. What is the rest of the group doing? Because you guys have noticed Zog and Nelisian as their attention shift for a second. You guys are kind of facing away from it, having a conversation. And the barmaid is walking up and starting to put down the first plates of food.
It's okay, guys. They're not Kalashtar.
Do we see them that and they look exactly like Nelisian?
I would need to know if you guys would turn around. You guys have not seen the Shadar Kai yet stand up from the table. So all you have to go off is Nelisian moving and then Zog suddenly saying, yeah, they're not Kalashtar. And then like going back to getting ready to eat his roast beef.
I think that Nelisian climbing over us would definitely make me look at where he's going.
It's the most anything we've seen of him.
and then I'm just gonna look at this a Calsprin and be like, okay. I'm really sorry. Can you just give us 1 second? I don't know what's happening. I'm really sorry. And I pat her on the head. I'm like, you're really cute.
She kind of looks in bewilderment for a second. And she's like, I've never been shrugged off. I'm pretty much a god. And she shrugged me off. And she like turns to face Cal and she's like, what the hell? I thought they had better manners. And her eyes kind of flare up a little bit with a little bit of the same tendrils that came out of Hoyd's eyes when he turned into a blob. And that's fine. That's kind of what we're at right now. So you've patted her on the head and your focus is there. What are Cal and Yana doing now? So we've established what the three of you guys are doing. What is happening with Cal and Yana?
I'm just taken back by the Bren being like my Daisy. And I'm just like, why do you look just like her? You don't act like her, but how do you know what she looks like?
And she's like, if I just said that I'm a god, is it that shocking that I can possibly know some of your memories?
I suppose not, but I don't always want people in my memories.
And at that point, she kind of shrinks to the timid version of your daughter that you know, and she pats you on the arm and she's like, it's going to be okay, Papa. It's okay. And she like turns back into her other voice, but she did greet you in the exact same voice you're used to hearing Daisy talk to you in.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up. That's not sweet.
He's a bit like, at first he was very enchanted, but now he's just like, I don't know anymore. Why are you doing this?
I'm trying to give you a living memory of your daughter that you can't have right now. I'm sorry. And she kind of looks shocked that she didn't realize the impact of her actions. And she kind of recalibrates again, flares up for just a second. And when she flares up in brightness again, the barmaid notices and is like, what the hell is that? And she has shifted her appearance to look less like Daisy now. She's still wearing the garments of Daisy, but is not the same appearance as your daughter any longer.
He's just taken back, and now his lips still quivering, just like very confused and concerned.
Poor Cal.
And at that moment, Silfrena notices the bartender. Not the bartender, the barmaid. And actually, I want to know what you're doing first, Yana. What is Yana doing in this situation? You're the only one I haven't covered yet.
Yana in this situation is still more concerned about Nelisian than he is the good graces of Silfrena. So in a similar vein of what Dusk was doing, Yana has his attention on Nelisian, but isn't necessarily as polite. He's very much like kind of like a dog seeing a squirrel. Nelisian pops up, and again, this is the most emotion I think that we've really seen out of Nelisian, aside from him being candid with Yana in the booth on his own. And so I'm feeling this like call to action to jump up, be like, well, what's going on with Nelisian? So
cool. So while that is happening, you're kind of preoccupied by that. Silfrena kind of looks at you, looks at the barmaid, and giggles for a second and pops up on the barmaid's shoulder and is like, George is at this booth, and vanishes.
What a
that
bitch.
Oh, what?
The barmaid kind of looks around and is like, George, what is going on right now?
Same. Zaga's gonna stand up and be like, yeah, it's me. I'm George.
Zog.
Sorry. Beef stew. Excuse me.
The barmaid goes, oh, I'm sorry. We've been looking for a different George. I'm a little bit surprised that I've never, well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
My bad. I didn't mean to overreact. And she kind of points at the wall of shame and she's like, we've been looking for him for roughly 3 months now. And I thought maybe we had stumbled across him. I'm so sorry. She puts the rest of the food down and turns and walks away.
I actually like my job. I hunt people. Do you want me to, or would you pay me to find him?
She kind of stops as she's walking away after having put the food down. And she's like, well, let me talk to the bartender. We might have to get it cleared by the owner. I don't know what George's tab is. Let me get back to you. And she does seem genuinely curious about possibly sending you out for George. She just has to kind of talk about what type of reward or purse would be given for having turned George in. And she does kind of scurry off. At that point, we're getting to the point now where Milesian has made it out of the booth. The other 3 people that he recognized are closing in on the booth itself. Silfrina has popped back up in the center of the table, and she looks pretty proud of what just happened. And she looks at your Spren, Yana, and is like, and then looks at you and is like, I'm kind of surprised, but this one likes you quite a bit.
It makes my heart very warm, actually.
And she goes, and I have messed up a little bit with Cal, but I also like Cal. So I think I can hopefully mend the friendship between you two to some extent. And then she kind of looks at the rest of the party and is like, I need to have a little bit of a deeper conversation with your guys' Spren to learn a little bit about them. But I'm sure that if you're anything like this one, your Spren probably have a fondness for you as well. But she's like, I will get to that shortly. And that's at the point where the group of elves that Nelesian has recognized kind of get to the booth. So Nelesian, you're kind of standing at the entrance of your booth, looking at them as they walk up to you. And that's kind of where we're at the moment.
Okay. Valtor, Jadira, Namir. Where have you been?
Wait, one more time. Sorry.
I can give you. I'll post the actual name.
Okay, thank you.
As well. No, I mean that was good. It's just I'll give you the. That was accurate. It was just I will give you the actual written names of them in the tavern chat. Okay. At that point, Jadira kind of looks up at you and she is like, where have we been? Where have you been? So many things have changed in Forminos since you've been there. We came back roughly, 2 months ago, and we couldn't find you.
I left because you all started to disappear. I needed answers. Where have you been?
Yeah, getting answers as well. We'd expected those who didn't leave with us to remain so we could bring back the good news. And that is when Valtor kind of looks at the table and his eyes bug out for just a second. And he doesn't address you immediately, but he kind of gives Nymir a nudge in the ribs, and they look at the table as well. And that's when Jadara is like, if you wanted answers, you should have just waited for us. You didn't leave with us, and now you went out and searching for your own answers. I don't know what answers I can give you. We can talk in more detail, but I don't want to talk here.
How could I have known to wait? You disappeared.
Did somebody not reach out to you in your dreams?
I don't sleep anymore.
They kind of look at each other in a little bit of confusion, and they're like, so he didn't come and talk to you.
Who?
At that point, they are like, one of them in the back kind of looks over and whispers in Jadira's ear, and you guys can all give me a perception check on if you hear this, because they are attempting to hide this.
12.
Okay.
10. 9.
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
so it's like a 3.
Oh, God.
15.
Okay. The only person that recognizes any of the names or that anything that is being said is Zog believes that he heard the word odium. Oh, shit. Nobody else could hear the whispering. But yeah, that's what you believe that you heard there, Zog.
Would I have seen them whisper, though, even though I can't hear them?
Yeah, you would have seen Voltor kind of lean into Jadara at that point.
What's going on here?
I told you I'm not going to talk to you here. I would be happy to answer your questions if we step outside and find a more private place to talk. But
Well,
just
then
you.
Let's step outside, and I hope you remember respect for your elders when we do.
Cool. So at that point, Jadara and Nelisian are going to head towards the door. What would everyone else do? Because at that point, Voltor and Nymir are also following shortly behind the other Shadar-kai.
Just real quick, if anybody stands up to follow, I'm going to put a hand up.
I'm just gonna put my hand on your shoulder real quick and lean in and say, ask them about odium.
I'll just nod my head.
Yana's gonna. Are you sure, Delician, that you don't want a friend by your side?
Stay.
Yeah, Dusk. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't want to. I feel like you shouldn't be alone.
Stay.
Okay.
Dusk stands up, but like kind of stops whenever she sees Nelisian's hand, and she's just like, "Please be careful."
I'm not going anywhere. I'll be back.
You're not back in 10 minutes. Is that enough time?
Agreed.
Okay. If you're not back in 10 minutes, we're going to come and find you, okay?
10 minutes is why I need to cast a ritual to learn about all these magical items. So
The belt and the boots would be nice to know about.
Okay. So we can do this next scenario one of two ways. It's a little bit odd for me. This is something I was having a hard time figuring out how I wanted to handle this in a digital setting. It feels weird to ask you guys to mute and not hear me talk, but I need this audio to go to the audience so that they know what's happening. So I pretty much need everyone else to mute their audio so they can't hear me except for Nelisian.
You can let us know on Discord when you want us to unmute.
Yeah, everybody take a 5-minute break, including me, because I've got to go to the bathroom.
Cool. Yes.
When you get,
as soon as you get back, we'll have this.
I will have to hear no matter what.
No, that's totally fine. I get that. That's why it's a little bit odd, is that there's no way for me to make sure this is a fully private conversation. I just want to do my best to make it a private conversation.
That's easy.
Cool.
So for the rest of us listening like to the episode later, should we try to skip over this part?
You can listen to it. It comes down to, well, yeah, actually, yes. If you don't mind skipping over it, I think it would help. I think you guys will find out this information pretty quickly, but I would like it to come naturally to you guys.
That sounds good.
Cool.
Also, quick question for you guys. If you didn't listen to it, that's totally fine. But I experimented even more with sound effects on the Critmas Special, and I did not know if you guys had opinions on it. If you listened to it. If you didn't, I'm not guilting you. It's totally fine.
I have not made it that far yet. I'm actually still in the episode that I missed. So
Okay,
I'm still listening to that one, but I'm planning on listening to all of them. It was just busy over the holidays.
That's totally fine. Yeah, I did more extensive on like fully sound effects. So like when you tackle Dawn, you hear like you two falling in the snow, same as like when you trip, but then like also during the battle with like the spells and stuff, there's actual sound effects on that this time as well.
Ooh, that's exciting.
So I was trying to push how far that part of the editing could go. So it was a bit of an experiment. So I was just curious how you guys perceived it.
Yeah, wasn't there some sound effects in the previous one?
There were some, but I've done more.
Yeah, I haven't heard the new one yet.
Alex, tell Tundra I say hi.
Hey, Michelle says hi.
Thank you.
He said, "Wow."
Wow. Wow.
He's so cute. Oh.
Say, "Wow." Wow. He usually.
Gotta say.
Come on. Speak.
Oh, damn it.
Only when he's asked to.
All right. So this is the moment where I will, as long as you're good to go there, Nalisian, I will
okay.
ask everyone else to mute or to remove your headphones so you guys cannot hear this conversation, and I will ping you on Discord when we're done. Okay. So you walk outside with the three Shadar Kai,
Mhm.
and Jadira immediately turns around and is like, "Are you telling me that Odium did not talk to you?"
Odium. No, I saw him, but he did not speak to me.
So he presented himself to you then?
I wouldn't say that either. I walked in on him and another's altercation.
Huh. And at that point, a Voltor kind of looks and is like, maybe he wasn't chosen. And then at that point, Nymira kind of turns around and is like, so wait, are you saying there is an option to not have been turned? Or are we saying that he just hasn't been susceptible to the turn yet? And Jadira kind of looks at it and he goes, is he the only one of us that didn't? And he kind of looks and he goes, were there any other Shadar Kai in Farminos when you left?
I was the last, which is why I left.
And she kind of stands there and is like, is he too old for this to have taken place? Did he miss the cutoff? And you can tell she's kind of having this like internal dialogue with herself. And she's like, this is not good. I have to talk to Odium.
What is going on here?
And at that point, Jadira kind of steps away just a second, and Voltor kind of steps up and is like, Odium talked to us. He says that there is a revolution coming, and we need to be a part of it or we will die. And I, for one, know that we are the chosen ones, the Shadar Kai, that got picked. There is a reason for this. Have you not noticed the complexion change and us not being able to sleep? Odium said that this was his doing. He said that he is the reason that he stood us out. He wants us to be the generals of his army.
So he did this to us.
Yes, do you not see what a gift this is?
Gift. All this has done is isolate us.
Yes, for a greater good.
What good?
Odium's rampage. What is coming? How do you not? And he kind of like takes a step back, and Nymir steps up and he's like, so you're saying you haven't experienced the blissfulness of Odium's presence the way that we have?
I can't say that I have.
And at that point, he turns to Jadira, who looks like she's having a conversation with something in her hands, similar to what you recognize as conversation that people have started to have with their Sprin. And her eyes flare up a deep kind of like violet purple, deep red, and tendrils start coming out of her eyes, and she screams, he's not one of us. And she turns to you at that point and is like, go. Or no, I'm sorry, not to you. She turns to the other two and is like, leave this one to me. And they kind of at that point levitate off the ground and shoot off in opposite directions.
Oh shit.
And at that point, Jadira also starts to hover off the ground, with the violet streaks coming out of her eyes. And that is when we will end this portion of the conversation, go back and give them an opportunity to roll a perception to see if they heard any of that shout that Jadira gave.
Okay.
So. Okay. All right, we'll give them a second to come back.
So what did you say?
Well, it went
So
like
what
this.
happened?
Okay. You will I need all of you guys that did not step outside with Nalisian and the others to roll me a perception check, please.
15.
5.
14.
You said
Perception, yes.
I rolled a 1, but it's a 2 with my modifier.
We're rolling great tonight.
Okay. So none of you heard anything. Nothing kind of aroused your interest. Cal, what you did notice is that Silfrina, her eyes kind of sparked again, like they did when Witt had died, or turned into the puddle, and she giggles for a second and is like, "It's about to happen," and like jumps onto your shoulder, and that's all you are aware of. And you hear the same rumbling from the same position that you heard it last time.
Do our other Spren react at all?
They are giving out a slight vibration at this point. Like they're just slightly vibrating, like kind of humming almost. It's kind of the sensation that you're getting from them all. But none of you heard Silfrina say that. It was only Cal that heard that at that point.
I tell the group. I said she said something's happening.
Wait,
What's happening?
did we see her jump on his shoulder?
You didn't see anything. Kind of when she giggled, she disappeared for you guys, kind of to the state in which she was before she'd presented herself to you.
And she's still on my shoulder.
Yep.
I turn to her and say, "What? What is about to happen? Silfrina, please."
Well, it might be the last of the transcendence. I'm not sure. But I think that's what's happening.
What do we do? What is the transcendence? Why?
Oh, I misspoke. I meant the ascendance, not the transcendence. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you to do, other than I think somebody's ascending to greater power, personally. I think. I hope. And she kind of looks confused. She's like, I think that's what's happening. And that's all she's going to give you.
I tell the group. She said someone's going to ascend into greater power. Does anyone know what that means?
No, what's going on? I'm scared. Why is my little thing vibrating? Is yours vibrating?
Mine is vibrating too. I don't know what to do with it.
Do we need to go see an Elysian? How long has it been?
I think it's been 8 minutes. It's been 8 minutes and 45 seconds. But who's counting?
I was not expecting you to keep an actual timer on things. I like that. So yeah, the 10 minutes have not passed that this has happened. So your internal timer of going out to check on an Elysian has not happened yet.
Well, I don't want to be without Dawn either. What if something happens? What if we get separated again?
Yeah, no. I get sitting in with all the items in his lap as he's trying to do the ritual. There's a lot going on right now. I don't know.
I know. I don't know what to do either. I'm so scared.
I'm just going to like prop up a little bit from the table and like look around the tavern and see if there's anything else unusual happening.
Okay.
Is everyone else freaking out?
Nobody else has started to freak out yet. Roll me another perception check, please.
All of us?
Just Cal.
Okay.
What was it?
15.
Okay. You don't notice anything.
Is there like just other people around in the tavern, like just casually still?
Yeah. Seems like the normal traditional tavern night. Okay, so I think this is as good of place as any to call it for a cliffhanger for you guys.
Cliffhanger.
For a metagame question, can we assume that since there's like a minute left, that you can send us all the deets on all the items since I was doing an identify ritual and this one was gone? Okay.
I can. Yes, I
So we
can.
can
I
start
will
the next
need
session with all the info.
Yeah, I will need to. I will get it to you sometime this week. I won't give it to you right away.
Okay.
Well, I can give you. Actually, no. I just have to adjust a couple of things that I wasn't happy with after I'd done a little bit of research on them. I just didn't get a chance to adjust them before the session. So I will get them to you this week with some polished out stat blocks as well for kind of like what to expect with them and that type of stuff. So
That works.
Cool.
And then, yeah, then we can make item cards for him, I assume.
cool. We can do that. The only other thing I wanted to clear up with you guys is I need to, because this session, it helped a lot having, even though Keith and I have not talked about his backstory in detail, it helped having a written story to kind of go off of a little bit to kind of shape a couple of interactions. It definitely helped with Clayton's story unfolding right now. So I would like to figure out, hopefully sometime this coming week, that I can meet up with you guys to discuss backstories. So I can get it written in time to kind of start implementing some of this like I did tonight. And it would help giving me roughly, if I can have a week to start like shifting or sifting through that after we talk, that would be great. So I'd hope to get all of you guys in sometime this coming week.
Once Molly gets back to Colorado, I'll kidnap her and force her to do the backstory stuff.
Okay, cool.
On your
cool.
on your what did you call it?
Momi date.
Momi date.
Momi. I get it. Molly.
She did.
Michelle.
She did.
I understand.
She did explain
Success.
it earlier.
Also,
He rolled successfully on his perception check this time around.
first roll was a nat 1.
Yeah.
when I was explaining.
You mean you and Corbin don't have like Clayco dates?
Oh,
Claycos.
Claycos.
Gonna have to now.
Oh yeah, it's like, man, I didn't need that before, but I do now.
guess you want to get together and have a Jelix?
Yes. Yeah, we'll start our own date nights. It makes sense.
Jelix Day.
And not only that, you get a date night with Dungeon Daddy, so you run the real prize there.
I won the lottery.
Daddy.
Roll for initiative.
Day with
Alex.
Daddy.
Adventure awaits.
I go first.
Oh my god. Oh gosh.
I actually have one quick D&D question.
Yeah.
Has everybody like named their sprint already?
No.
Okay, I just wanted, because I thought of the fucking cutest name and I'm so excited to announce it.
What is it?
I'm not gonna tell you guys until
It's a surprise.
and it's gonna be cute. I'm probably way more excited than anybody will be, but it's not that great, but I think it's perfect.
Probably gonna go with like an old man name. I always like when cats have like a old,
Jebediah.
old human name.
Jebediah.
Come,
Deuteronomy.
Oh,
Little
Jeb. Come on, Jeb.
Is your friend homeschooled? Is that why he has that name?
From Charleston.
What's a good old man name? Richard? That was my grandpa's name. I don't
Dwight. That's our
Dwight.
grandpa's name.
know. Dwight.
Bernard.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Bernard.
something like Murphy or like Beauregard or like something like that is like speaking to me as like an old
Harold.
person name. Harold.
Harold's good.
This is my
great
sprint
name.
Harold.
Cool. So I'll just ask Keith, do you know what day would work best for you to do a one-on-one? Just so even if we don't know the exact time,
Mhm.
even just knowing a day or two that would work for you would be great.
Yeah. Monday, Thursday, Friday. Like before 9.
Okay. Are you down for meeting on Monday then?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. We'll just plan for Monday and I'll hit you up. I should be able to sneak some time, even if I need to use like my lunch break or something while I'm at work. It should be totally fine to get something in for before 9 for sure.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Cool. So we'll do that. And then Corbin, what day works best for you?
I mean, I could definitely probably do Saturday because
Okay.
Tim's gonna be at basketball games. So I'll just be in Clayton. So Saturday would work
Between
or
noon and
really
5 on
just
Saturday.
between noon
Okay.
and 5.
Let's just
Thank
plan
you.
on Saturday then. I'll hit you up around noon. I don't think I have anything going on that day, so I'll hit you up around noon.
Sounds good.
And then I know you're waiting, Michelle. Alex, do you have a rough idea on what day of the week or weekend would work best for you? It should only roughly take about, I think I could probably get through this in about, I think Clayton and I talked for 30 to 45 minutes, but we had a lot of chit chat about some deeper things that I needed to work out with him anyways, because of the order that he picked. But for you, I would guess most of these one-on-ones will take maybe 30 minutes at most.
Yeah, how about Thursday the 19th at 8 p.m.
Perfect.
That's
I'm
the
sure.
next session, you dork.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good this weekend sometime.
It's funny. I thought it was, and I was like, as I was writing it down, I was like, Thursday the 9th. Did you say 18th or 19th? I was like,
He said
man,
19.
19th.
I was like, that
19th.
feels like 2 weeks away. I was
Yeah,
like, right.
yeah,
I
yeah.
wrote down Thursday, and then you said the 19th, and I was like, well, damn it, I got played. But yeah,
You'll
you
be
said
busy.
sometime on the weekend, maybe.
Yeah, even this weekend I'll be down.
Okay, cool. I'll hit you up sometime tomorrow and we'll figure it out. Saturday night is the only night I'm like super busy. Other than that, I should be able to figure out some time. So I'm thinking maybe later tomorrow night if you're free, even if it's like later, kind of like we've done when we've played a couple of games, or even Sunday, pretty much any time should work for me.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. That's about all I had. And I think you said this, Michelle, that you're okay doing most of your quote unquote one-on-one with Molly, right? Like a joint one, assuming that you guys, or do you want to do a separate one?
No, I think a joint one. And then if we like, I want to talk to her about like if we do want to keep things secret or are we pretty open? But I think most of our things can be or most of our like backstory can be covered together. And then if we have like things that we want to keep from each other, we can just like message you on the side. I'm sure it's not going to be very much.
Cool. Okay. Perfect. Well, that's all I had. I appreciate you guys playing again tonight. It's been fun. Yeah. So
Always. Thanks for running, Jesse.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Dad.
Thank you,
Dungeon
Daddy.
Daddy.
Perfect.
New
Well, thank
year.
you guys.
Definitely.
It was fun.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Thanks,
really
Clayton,
fun.
for the
GGs.
stream. Good game.
Good game. Good game.
Good game.
All right,
So
well, that
long.
does it for this week's Nerdy 20. Remember, we'll be back in 2 weeks where you can roll initiative and join the adventure. If you like what we do, scroll on down and give us a rating. Don't forget to share with your friends. And if you really love what we do, go to patreon.com/thenerdosphere where you can learn how to support the show and gain exclusive perks while doing so. See you next week. 2 weeks. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Cow.
Oh my God.
Recording stopped.
You know what's great
Make
about
those
that?
sound noise
There's your
my
outro.
ringtone.
What's great about that is because Zoom can record each individual person, Corbin can continue that laugh as long as he wants.
Yeah, it's true. Just turn that into the next 3-hour stream of just that.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God.
Oh man.
Some people post like 3 hours of like a looped Yule log, but we'll just post Cal and
Yeah,
Yana
that.
laughing with each other.
Perfect. I'd buy it.
Label it calm laughs to fall asleep
Yeah.
to.
Calm laughs. Yes.
Meditating laughs or cries? Question mark.
Oh man.
This is the 2023 laugh track.
Yeah.
It's just you guys.
Yeah, use that as a sound effect as the laugh track in the background too. Perfect.